It's the main event. I'm your humble host and stupid host, Stephen McCollum, and you know him as 17-year NFL veteran, 3-time Super Bowl champion for your Dallas Cowboys. And folks, I shamed him so much earlier in the week. He blew off golf to hang out with John Holmberg and do some stuff for him on Wednesday instead of normally going golfing. That he's supposed to take today off, and look who's here, Dale Hellestrade.
Well, I had to come in, Steve, and just check on you and wonder why certain things happen, and I'm here to let you know on this last Friday in March.
Last Friday in March, yeah.
You're going to already
Yeah,
correct me.
because I don't want you to say what you're going to say, but go ahead. You want me to leave? I'll leave.
You want me to, what?
Go ahead.
What are
Finish
you
your
talking
shit.
about?
Finish it up.
The karma is real.
Yes, I know where you're going with
and
it.
it's a bitch.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that unless you want to expound.
You can tell
No.
people. You can tell people.
Steve learning the hard way. When you cast aspersions at other mere mortals.
Yeah. Dale likes to point out that the fact I made fun of $4.99 gas in Dale the other day and how much it cost him to fill up and how I don't have to worry about it. It's really coming back and biting me, Dale. Okay, do you guys want to hear this story? Do you want to hear this ridiculous story that happens to me in my life?
What happens if you actually heard a voice say, yeah, we'd really like to?
Okay, so yesterday I came in and I said, hey, I forgot to charge my car last night. You know, plenty. I'll stop at the public charger on the way home. No big deal. No big deal. And it's not. In theory, it's not, Dale. So I do all my stuff yesterday. I get out of here and plenty of juice. I could have made it all the way home. The problem is my daughter had a thing last night that I had to take her to. So I needed to charge it a little bit so I can get her there and back, and then I'll charge it overnight. Well, Dale, on my way home, I stop at my favorite public charging place. Nobody's there. Stop, plug in like I always do, get on the app, press the button, start. Car says, error, cannot charge. I went, oh, that's weird. It says unplug it, plug it back in, so I do it. I haven't been to a public charging station in months.
Now you're mixing with the unwashed.
Yep. So I'm like, oh, that's weird. So I try it again, same issue. So then I move. I'm like, all right, maybe it's this machine. So I move to another fast charger that they have there. Same thing, Dale. Just an error. Unplug, I'll plug it back in. There's something with the cord is what it's saying. So I'm like, all right, whatever. This place sucks, whatever. So then I go, just out of curiosity, I go, all right, although there's another one closer to the house, I'll just stop there really quick and check it out. Different companies, stuff like that. So I drive home, and I could have made it all the way home. Like I said, the problem is I have to go somewhere afterwards. So I get all the way home. I get all the way to this other place, plug it in, do the whole steps. Like, I'm to the point, Dale, while I'm reading the instructions in case I'm just stupid and forgotten how to do this. I plug it in, go on the app, press the button. Error. Unplug and plug back in. Weird. Two different. So there's something with my car now. I'm like, okay, it's my car. I'm like, but it's charging at home, so what's the difference? So I mess with that for a little bit. It's just not working. So I go, whatever. I'm just going to go home. I'm at like 9%. So I go home. I'm like, I'll just plug it in. I got 2 hours. I'll plug it in. I'll Google what's going on with the car, whatever. I'll plug it in. I'll go. So I get home. My home charger trips something, and it's charging extra slow now. So I'm looking at it, and I'm like, oh, man, this isn't going to charge enough to. So I'm like, all right. I don't know if Autumn's around. So I'm like, all right, so here am I. I can call Ethan. Like, Ethan, I need your car. Bring your car over here. I need your car. Something to that effect. So I'm like doing all these things. I'm on the phone dealing with some other stuff and everything. I saw the most amazing video yesterday, folks, that I can't share, but I'll tell you about it. But so I'm sitting there, and then Autumn texts and goes, hey, I'll be over. I'll go with you tonight. I'm like, oh, thank God. So she comes over, and I'm like, hey, can you drive? I have enough to get us there. But there's a public charging problem here, and I don't want to get us there, and then the public charger doesn't work again, and then we're stuck there. So my car's plugged in. So we leave. Go to Ireland's thing. My car's plugged in. Now, I get into my app at 4:57, and I stop the charging. This is key, folks. I stop the charging because that's when my electricity gets really expensive. And then it can start again at 9. I completely forgot when I got home, Dale, to go out to my garage and I have to unplug my car and plug it back in.
How?
I know. Completely
It's been-
forget to do it.
It's been your stress ball
I know.
all
Yeah.
afternoon.
That's how tired I was. So I go to bed, wake up this morning, don't even think anything of it. Literally open the garage door and I hit the garage button and my brain went, "You didn't plug your car in last night."
Did you give yourself a stern talking to?
I went, "God, you moron." So I went, and I was early today. So I was like, you know what? That's cool. I'll just stop at a public charging station again. And maybe it was just yesterday that the problem was happening. Bury my head in the sand that there's another issue. So I drive up there and I drive to the station again. I'm the only one there, thank God, because I look like an idiot getting in and out and trying to figure it out. Same issue, same issue, Dale. So this time I go to the slow chargers that are there. Because my GPS says I'm going to get here with like 6%. So I can get here. Leaving here's the problem. Here's the stupid thing.
And for a novice who's never
Yep.
made enough money to own a car like yours,
My car's cheaper than yours.
is charging faster more expensive than slower?
No,
or can only
it's
certain cars-
a kilowatt rate. It's speeding it up. Basically, that's all it does. Yeah.
And
it's just
are there
faster.
certain cars that can't do high speed?
Yeah. There's things. Generally, they all can do it now. If not, you can get an adapter and stuff like that. So I'm like, all right, maybe it's these fast chargers are the problem because that's what all I've tried. So I pull into the slow chargers, plug it in, go through the app again, and again, folks, I'm reading the instructions on the screen because I'm like, all right, maybe I forgot how to do this. Dale, same problem. So I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna have to drive in because now I'm gonna be late for the business show if I don't get going. So I'm driving with the AC off, which is fine. Early morning.
Oh, this morning.
I'm at 6%. It says I'm going to be at 6% when I get cars, just bells going off everywhere. Charge soon. And once you hit 10%, charge soon. And it's like literally on the screen, it's like, here's the charger, like giving me every charger in the area. So I pull in and I pulled into the spot and I parked kind of weird today. Normally where I don't park, so I took Dale's spot basically. You could have squeezed in next to me, right? Yeah. So I did that. But what I screwed up this morning because I wasn't thinking.
It's how you can charge it from there.
Yeah. And I should have grabbed my home charger, brought it here, and I could have plugged it in. Now it would be a lot slower because we don't have a 240 volt thing here. But even then, 2-3 hours at a slow charge, or even I can hang out here till 2:00 to get it high enough to where I can get it back home. Oh, cool! But I didn't even think to grab it this morning. So now I'm texting people, going, "Hey, bring me my charger." So I can at least charge it here. Even if I have to leave it and get a ride home with Uber or something, at least I can leave it for several hours and come back later and get it.
Is it all radio silence right now? Nobody getting
well,
back?
It's early in the morning. So Ethan called me this morning about something. Yeah, he wants to do something after school. And I'm like, yeah, I don't go do it. Whatever. I go, here's the problem, though. I might need you. I might need you to go home, get the charger, drop your sister off because her friend's coming over. I go, and then bring me my charger. And then that way I can drive home afterwards if nobody else can go to my house and bring me the charger. Yeah. So Dale, I've already looked it up. It's like $40 to get me Ubered home, but I'm not going to do an Uber there and an Uber back to charge it. So I'll get a ride home.
Oh no, you got two kids and a girlfriend.
So I might just have to hang out here until everybody gets done with school today, 3:00 or whatever.
Boy, it'd be nice if you had that charger.
Seriously, it could be charging right now.
Yeah.
And I would get it high enough that I could get back home and then I could just plug it in at the house.
Yeah. Well,
that's where I messed up, Dale.
Well, maybe plug it in the house because I would have thought after yesterday, the first thing you would have done.
Dale, it was plugged in all night.
Yeah.
It just doesn't restart itself. When I stop it in the app, it won't restart itself. You have to unplug it and plug it back in. It doesn't restart itself on the schedule.
I thought you just got out of the car, went in the house. I'm tired. I'll do it later.
Autumn had to drive to Ireland's thing yesterday because my car didn't have enough charge to get there and back, and I don't trust the public chargers.
Boy, $4.99 in gas doesn't seem too bad.
No,
you could
Dale.
Stop right
this
here.
weekend I'm going and buying a new car. But I'm Googling this, Dale. Like yesterday, while I'm sitting there, even this morning, I'm Googling it, saying what exactly is happening.
So you could turn something on and off from your phone to your car?
Oh yeah. Oh, it's just an app. Yeah. You can play by card too. You can swipe your card and it'll just start charging your card. But I get discounts and stuff. So So yeah, no, I just go right into the app and hit start charging. Boom, it starts working.
I guess right now I'm not caring much about discounts.
But no, I'll pay whatever it takes at this point. I'm like, is there a service that can come with like a generator and fast charge?
I was going to say, does anybody out there?
Yeah, I'm going to be looking this up later. Like if I go AAA, because I have AAA. If I go AAA, does a guy show up with like a generator and charge my car for like 20? All I need is like a 15-minute charge to get
supercharger or whatever.
Yeah, fast one.
Yeah,
to get back. That's all I need. Like this morning when I stopped at the thing, I was just going to sit there for 10 minutes. That would have given me enough to get here and back home, or at least back to a public charger again. But it ain't working, man. Stressful, Dale. Stressful.
Are you going to have to get it towed to?
Oh my God, this is my biggest fear, and I can't tow it to a public place because it's not working. I have to tow it to my house, push it into the garage. But I Googled the problem, and everybody's solution is, did you check your settings? Yeah, my settings are fine. It's just supposed to charge. I don't get it, man. So I might have a charging port problem. Because it's also, at my house, it is tripping a warning sign. It's been doing it a lot lately. Not every time, but it trips it where it still charges. It just charges extra slowly. And so maybe there's something wrong with the car. Dale?
Oh, you got a lemon, Steve.
Oh, my God. This is so stressful.
Just think, if you were down to 15 miles, you could just go to the Arco, right? Take a right here, and there's the Arco right there.
Dale, I passed 17 gas stations to get to the car charging place.
You'd
The
say,
thought didn't pass my mind.
You'd say, how much a gallon of gas? $18.99.
I don't care.
Fill her up.
Look, I ain't lying to you. If you're out there listening right now and you have access to a charger for just a common, not a Tesla one, a Tesla charger will not work on my car.
Yeah.
I don't have the adapter, but just a regular car EV charger. And you can charge me whatever you want. Come on by here. Come on by here and hang out. I'll buy you lunch and I'll pay whatever it takes to get my car up to 20% so I can make it back home.
If you see Steve racing out of here in the middle of the show, somebody showed up with an electric charger.
I know. I've texted everybody that can get into my house.
Even Riley's not answering.
Well,
me.
he did. He did actually answer.
Oh.
Now, let's see here. There's a danger of Riley sleeping in on a Friday. Oh, this is what I get from Riley right now. I texted Riley, by the way, at 6:13 a.m. with the instructions. He goes, okay, I'll get it to you. We should take a bet. We should make a bet on when Riley will show up. Because even if he shows up at noon, it's going to take 2-3 hours. Because it's a slow charger. I don't have a 240 volt here. So it's going to be a level 1 charger. It's going to charge at like 3 miles an hour or something like that. So the longer he takes to get here, the longer I'm sitting here until it's done. This car's sitting here overnight probably, Dale, charging. I got to come get it later or something. So stressful. I hate my life.
So from now on, the lesson that Steven has learned this week.
Yeah, because I made fun of $4.99 gas.
Yeah.
That's what Dale thinks is going on.
He went, na 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 na.
Well, I'm going to be paying $4.99 gas today because Ethan needs gas. If he's going to drive all the way over, he needs gas. He informs me. So either way, I'm paying for gas today on top of it.
That insult to injury.
Yeah, just look.
Oh.
The best part of it is I'm not stressing out about it. I am stressing out about it. Worst case, it's $40 home, and then I get a ride over, or I drive Ethan's car over here and I plug it in, I leave it overnight. Not the end of the world. That's worst case scenario that I'm dealing with. Thank God, though, I don't have something like important I got to do after this and get somewhere.
Yeah.
'Cause then that's where an Uber would get expensive, Dale. Well, why? Everybody's like, why are you showing up in an Uber? Don't want to talk about it. That's my day.
Oh.
That's my day.
Steve, I actually feel sorry.
And
for
Autumn's
you.
busy today, so if Ethan's not available, which he is, be after school, ready to check with him. But if Ethan wasn't available, I have nobody. If Riley, you, I'd be calling you. Hey, when you get done golfing today, can you come back and pick me up? I'm still sitting at the office.
Yeah, I'm just gonna spend the night here.
I know. I would just take. I'd just take a new $40 to get home. Yeah.
And now that's no big deal. You know,
I'll
how
help
many
out.
gallons of gas that could have by you?
I'll help out an Uber driver. they're probably struggling right now with gas prices, what they are and whatnot. But Riley just said, "Okay, I'll get it to you." So if Riley shows up at noon, doesn't really help me at all because it's gonna have to sit here and charge. So This is what's bothering me because I didn't bring the charger because I didn't even think to grab it. Why would you think to grab it, Dale? It should work. But I'm just sitting here, like I got here at 6:30, and I'm like, man, this thing could charge from 6:30 to 11
Yeah.
when I would leave today normally, and that would probably have been enough to get me back home. And I'm just wasting time right now. It's just bothering me because I just stupidly didn't grab the charger. Robert says, "Love the TED Talk promoting the internal combustion engine." You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah. And then he says, "Isn't the solution do not have a pink EV?"
Ooh.
I don't think my car that changes colors the problem right now. I don't think the color's the problem right now.
Maybe that's malfunctioning.
That's the thing. I don't know what it is. And when I Google it, people are like, "Oh, when you have this problem, I just do this." I did it. I even turned, because it's on a schedule for my home charger where it has to be charged at 80% by like 4:30 in the morning. So it's on a timer. I deleted it. I turned every function. I'm literally like on the on the app, the Chevy app, like looking at my thing, trying to figure out if there's anything else that would be stopping it from public charging. Nothing. I'm wondering if there's like an issue with my charging port because it's tripping at my house too. It still works, but it's tripping at my house. So,
Well, it's still under warranty, isn't it?
I just have to take it to the shop, but then I'm carless. Then what do I do? You're talking to a guy that has had 3 cars, right? One for Ethan, and I had a spare car laying around for a bunch of years for no reason. I don't have that anymore.
And now you need it.
Yeah, I don't have it anymore. Ethan needs it. Ethan goes the complete opposite way to school in the morning. What the heck? I tell him to take an Uber to school, and I'll drive his car here. Dale, that's my Friday morning, folks. I'm a little stressed out.
Well, I started off making a little bit of fun of you because you had it coming. I do feel.
Now you feel sorry for me?
Yeah.
The nice thing, in worst case, I got to sit here till 4 or 5 o'clock today, getting that car to charge enough to get me back home again. I just got to get back home. I just got to get it back home, Dale. That's all I got to do. Then I'll be good.
Wow.
Back on the fast charger again. If I remember to plug it in. Just so stupid. Like, what is wrong with me? Just what is wrong? Even, Dale, Autumn was driving us home. We stopped for dinner, and I was even going like, remember, you got to unplug your car and plug it back in. I distinctly remember thinking it. And I went inside because I was watching the end of that stupid Diamondbacks game last night. Boy, hitting is going to be a problem at times this year, folks. They proved that last night. So I'm watching that. I'm watching the Arizona game, and I just fell asleep. I didn't get a chance to do it. Should have done it right when I walked in.
Yes.
Folks, this is why you watch this show. I'm so stupid that you learn from my stupidity.
Why have you not made a sign on your garage door going in the house? Hey, dummy, plug in the car.
I would just ignore it. It's like when I put stuff in my calendar.
You say, hey, dummy,
and then
plug in the car, and you're going, oh, that sign's not talking to me.
I put something in my calendar last week for Wednesday of this week, Dale. It's just something I got to make a phone call and deal with it and deal with something. And I'm like, I'll just put it in the calendar for next Wednesday to remind me. Yeah. Well, while I'm dealing with this and Googling stuff this morning, I look at my calendar and I'm like, oh, I forgot about that. It doesn't matter if there's a sign or not. You just ignore it. I apparently just ignored my Wednesday calendar reminder. Folks, there's something wrong with me.
The stress of being Steve.
Oh, my gosh, Dale, you don't understand. My shoulders are so tight right now. I need a masseuse. Not going to hire a masseuse today to come in here and oh, my gosh.
Boy, when you could have filled up for $80.
I'm going to have to do that today anyway with Ethan's car. So what am I doing? What am I even fighting here? That's it. I'm coming. What kind of car should I get? I want the biggest gas guzzler on the planet on top of it.
Just get the same thing you have, only in a regular car.
I don't know. I want it to be just so expensive just to teach me the lesson that I went through this
Every
experiment.
time you fill up, you're such a dummy.
But even then, I'm just like, it's better than that other car. at least if I don't do this. There was a time where I lived, there was a time where there was nothing around us for like 10 years. I would run out of gas quite regularly, actually, to the point where I carried a gas can in the car with me. Because every day I'd be driving home and I'd be tired and I'd be like, you know what? I'll fill up later. I'll fill up tomorrow morning on my way to work. And you like push it home, and then next morning you're driving, run out of gas because you didn't stop. I've always been this way.
Have you run out of gas before?
Oh, yeah, I've done it several times.
What?
Now, at one time, you don't know where I live because you won't come and visit me. But I used to live in the middle of nowhere. Now it's all built up around me. But yeah, it was like 15 miles to the nearest gas station at one time. Yeah. So I would drive home. I had like a 1990 Bronco and everything. And I'd be driving and I'd be like, I should stop for gas. The light's not on yet, whatever. But I'd be like, I should stop for gas. So like, no, I'll just get it in the morning. No big deal. Got time in the morning. And literally like next morning, driving, out of gas. All right. Walking to the gas station to fill up the gas can. It happened a lot.
Man, I would think if I did that one time, I would not let that thing get below 100 miles.
So I used to drive for a living, right? And stuff like that. So when you have to fill up like every day or every other day because of how much you drive, I just got tired of stopping. Like it was like annoyance to stop and fill up all the time. So I pushed it as long as I could. Yeah.
So more of annoyance stopping a few times than having to hoof it to the gas station.
I didn't say I was smart. Make fun of me all you want. I didn't say I was smart. I'm an idiot, folks. I'm a moron when it comes to this stuff. So anyway, this is my Friday. But Dale was supposed to be off today, but he decided to come in. This is why you came in, Dale. You were like, he's going golfing today. His tee time's later, so he's here for the first hour. Bruce Cooper's coming in today as well to kind of fill in as well. For Dale. But this is why last night you were like, something's telling me I got to go in.
No. I don't wish this upon my worst enemy. I just think it's just poetic justice that you are crowing Monday and Tuesday. Oh, Stephen. Well, we can talk about good stuff or bad stuff?
Well, which one are you going to talk about? We could talk about anti-taking proposals from the NBA.
I did see that.
We have the 3 proposals they're putting out there. Here's my big question takeaway from yesterday. Arizona, I told you that Arkansas game I was worried about. I thought Arkansas would be close in this game. Arizona, they were at practice yesterday.
Wow.
They were at practice. Then you got the Diamondbacks game, and yesterday was fun to watch. Paul Skeens was not helped by his new center fielder for his first game at center field ever. Out in the first inning for Paul Skeens. Then the Diamondback situation where they're up 2-0. Perdomo's the only one hitting yesterday, 2-run homer. Then Zach Gallen, 4th inning, just gets lit up for 4 earned runs. Diamondbacks end up losing 8-2 because the bullpen gave up a bunch of runs as well. We can talk about all of that, but my biggest takeaway, Dale, do you want to know what it is?
I am so curious, Steve.
How do you, as an organization, show up to the ballpark in Dodger Stadium yesterday, put a lineup out, publish a lineup, and then after that lineup you go, oh, your elbow's inflamed? Probably pull you out of this. How do you not know he's not ready to go when you put the lineup out? Talking about Pavin Smith. What's happening in this Diamondbacks organization? Was it not hurting on Wednesday? Were they not monitoring it on Wednesday? Did he wake up yet? Even if he woke up yesterday and was like, oh, I slept on that wrong and it kind of hurts a little bit. You still get up and you go to the ballpark, right? You leave the hotel. You probably talk to somebody on the team.
Right.
And you go, my elbow. I'm
going to get to the stadium early.
You get to the stadium first day of the thing. They all get there early on the first day because you're excited. And then you put the lineup out hours after everybody's at the stadium, an hour or two after everybody's at the stadium, and everybody's talking to everybody and everything, you put the lineup out, and then you go, wait, what? Oh, we should probably sit him out. His elbow's inflamed. How does this happen? This continues to happen. They did this with Ketel Marte a couple times last year, where they put the lineup out and then took him out of the lineup. That was more of Ketel saying he didn't want to play. How do you do this all the time? And he's your only left-handed guy that can DH for you. Do they even have another left-handed hitter? Tim Talbot had it coming. I don't understand what's happening. Are they not paying attention to their players' injuries? How do you not know that's not inflamed before the lineups come out, Dale? I don't get it. I don't understand it. Somebody smarter than me has to tell me this because I don't get it.
There does seem to be a pattern of, the guy's sore or the guy's got this. And they wait an extra week to 10 days. Oh, we're going to now send him for imaging.
I say inflammation, but they announced it as left elbow soreness. Yeah. There is a distinct pattern with this team in soreness. Oh, you're sore? Oh, well. We already had the lineup out, but that's all right. We'll scratch you anyway and change it. What? But he's in the locker room. So does Pavin Smith do the Marte thing where he keeps fighting about how he doesn't want to play and eventually you give in? Or do they just not know about it? And then he goes out to do batting practice, and it gets bigger there and inflamed there or more and stuff. So to the point where you're like, oh, we'll just take you out of it. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Unless it happened during batting practice, how do you not know? And this is another guy that can't stay healthy on this team, Dale.
Yeah.
How do you not know he's got an elbow issue and he might not be available until after the lineups are out? I don't get it, man. Show me another team that scratches. Now, it doesn't happen every day, but show me another team that scratches players after the lineups are out because of soreness. I'll wait. I watch a lot of baseball, Dale.
Yeah.
I follow a lot of baseball. I read a lot about baseball. Baseball is one of those sports that I prefer reading about than actually watching it, to be honest with you. You know, the beat writers and just people's opinions of it and stuff like that. Just tell me another team that scratches players after it comes out because of soreness. It happens with Ketel Marte and now Pavin Smith. I don't get it, folks. I need somebody smarter than me to. Dale, fill me in, would you?
Yeah. That is above my pay grade.
It makes zero sense to me. Maybe Coop can explain it to me when he gets here as well. So Tim Talbot went into that game last night as well. And look, I'm not holding my Diamondback fortunes this year on Pavin Smith. He's oft injured. I don't even know why he's on this team, to be honest with you. I feel like he's somebody you could have moved on. But he is one of the few left-handed guys that can DH for you. Diamondbacks hate lefties, by the way. Have you guys noticed that? No left-handed pitchers, like one or two left-handed hitters. I don't get it, man.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Matter of fact, the expert has arrived, Dale. So let's take our break here. Bring him in here. Bruce Cooper.
Now my question is,
his thought.
He's the expert. I know he knows baseball.
Yep.
I know he knows basketball. Does he know EVs? Because you know he has enough money to own an EV or two.
My car is cheaper than yours. I just want to keep reiterating that too. You think I bought one of those $100,000, EVs?
Yeah.
It's not the case.
It's
right?
got all the bells and whistles, except for that charging port.
It does. It does. Come on back, folks. Now you got me depressed again. Come on back, folks. Bruce Cooper's going to join us till Dale takes off, and then it'll be me and Bruce the rest of the show. Come on back. Oh, Coop is here. Coming in on a Friday, helping us out. Dale's taking off at the top of the hour to go. It's Hall of Fame golf weekend there at the club.
Wait a second. Wait, time out.
He's not
doing
in the
what?
Hall of Fame.
He's doing what?
It's just the Hall of Fame weekend. He's not in the Hall of Fame. He's going to go play golf at his country club. Bruce.
Is this country club in town or out of town?
No, it's in town. It's Moon Valley Country
Yeah,
Club.
Moon Valley.
And
And we are allowing him to leave early for that?
Yeah, so when Dale decided was bugging me so much to become my partner, he's like, I just want to play golf every once in a while. So I said, you could take off on Wednesdays and maybe Fridays every once in a while early to do golf. I don't care, whatever. And now it's like every other day, and he's really stretching it and taking advantage of it and stuff. But yeah.
So you're trying to tell me he golfs more than the president, right?
I don't
It's a
think
big
I'm as
weekend
good
here,
as
though.
him, but yeah.
It's a big weekend, man. They literally they have a Hall of Fame for their country club, their men's club there at the country club. So it's a big weekend. He golfs today and tomorrow, but his tee time was later than he thought it would be, so he came in for the first hour. You're nice enough to join us for the show.
Well, I'm kind of curious. Does this membership club of his at Moon Valley have more Dobson High and Westwood Warrior alum
No.
than Saguaro?
Well, it has one Saguaro along. No, two. It has two, so that's two more than we allow Dobson or West.
They don't allow Dobsonites and Westwood people in there, Coop. That's for sure. They don't allow them in there. Matter of fact, one time I went in there I went to just drop something off to Dale, and they were like, I pulled up and I started to turn into the parking lot, and the guy was running out going like this, and I was like, what? He's like, sir, we were told you went to Dobson on our background check as you were driving up the road, so do not enter this parking lot. We'll take whatever you got and give it to him.
Well,
That's what they did to me.
You mean that the guy that was running up didn't have what I would think most of the members have there, like bionic hips and knees.
This was the security.
Yeah, we hire younger security.
They actually had their guns pulled, and they were pointing at me in the car, and I'm like, what did I do? I'm just dropping something off. And they're like, do not enter this parking lot, Mustang scum. I was like, I'm sorry. So that's how it went for me there. That's how snotty they are there at the Moon Valley Country Club.
What was the clubhouse menu look like there?
Well, you would like it. It's got a lot of fish on it.
Okay.
It's not as nearly as pricey as you like. Yeah,
Coop would be like, what are we paying for?
Yeah, I mean, $45 for a piece of salmon, get that away from me.
Is that what it is?
Oh no, I have no idea.
Oh, I was gonna say, I'm like, where's the salmon come from?
No. But I know Coop likes his fish, and he likes it.
Yes.
He likes
you
it
just
at
said
steak
$45.
44. Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. Moon Valley Country Club. They don't allow people like us there, Coop.
All right.
That's Westwood and Dobson people.
I understand. I mean, Dale
Even though Westwood's becoming like the greatest place to ever come from now.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Back in the highlight again there as well, and I remember their championship in '89. My sister went to high school there, and I remember that year when they won it. I think it was '89. It was '89. Yeah.
Let's break down. I mean, they've had some great coaches and players from there. I mean, Danny White, now Randy Bennett. I mean, I'm still looking to see what Saguaro can produce from a coach.
Well, they need a head coach, Coop.
They need a principal. They need an athletic director. They need somebody that isn't going to get arrested or do dastardly things. Let's start with that first.
Yeah.
Stop doing illegal things at Saguaro. Start there.
Dale, you know we love you, Dale.
I know. But you know what? If you ask Steve about Westwood High School, you know the first thing they'll say?
I know. I was just about to complain about it.
The crooked numbers on the football
It drives
field.
me nuts, man. Have you been there? Have you been there since they put the turf in?
Yeah, I have.
Why are their numbers slanted on the football
They're
field?
slanted on the football
nuts.
field.
They're not straight. It's not like 20 straight.
Well,
it's angled.
when
a
I've
little
gone
bit.
back, I've been on the field level. I've been actually on the field, so I mean, I don't notice
Yeah,
anything.
Yeah,
I got
so
news
you're
for you,
not-
Coop. They're
well,
still
yeah.
crooked. Well, that's the thing. Because when I first mentioned it, Dale was like, "They're not crooked," and then he went, and he came back, and he's like, "Oh no, they're crooked. You just don't notice it as much down here." I don't think anybody really notices it except for me, but it drives me nuts.
Oh, okay.
It
Yeah.
drives me nuts. Like it's like I felt like the guy did it on accident, and then they were like, we're just gonna leave it.
Yeah, we're halfway through.
It's going to cost extra money to redo this.
Okay. Give me what it looks like. What does a 10 look like? Where?
I'll have to write. It's just angled. You know, on a regular football field, the 10 is just straight with the 10-yard line. The one's on this side, the zero's on this side. It's angled.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't.
I'll find a picture.
I haven't paid that much attention to it.
No.
I was on
Coop,
the, I was
you got
on
to be neurotic like me, man.
I was on the sideline for 2 of Westwood's games and Coach Brandon Large this past season, and
You don't notice it on the field.
Yeah. I felt like a jinx because I mean
They lost both time.
playing Perry High School. I mean, Cale Snyder just kept riddling.
Yeah, but that's Perry coming down from that Chandler. Yeah, that Chandler school district. Where even Perry, who wasn't considered good, was a dominant team as well from that side. Oh no, that's SC. I was gonna say I found it. Never mind, different deal.
So Coop, while he looks at that, we got a good thing to talk about. You see it?
Yeah, I got it right here. Look at this.
Oh, yeah,
See how they're crooked?
Yeah, he's
They're
right.
angled a little bit.
Yeah.
The 3 should be straight. Now it's going to bother you too.
Well,
Here's
no,
the problem, guys: is you
I-
need to be neurotic like I am.
No,
You
no.
guys are too easygoing.
No,
You need to be bothered by stuff
Well,
like
you
this.
know what Westwood likes? They like uniqueness. They like to stand outside of the box. So this is just falls in line
Is
with
that
who
what
we
we're-
are.
is that what
Yeah,
we're calling
That's
it?
who we are.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what we're saying, huh? All right. Isn't it funny though, Dale, that how neurotic I am on stuff, and then I just can't
And you
seem
can't
to keep
plug
my
in
car
your
plugged
car.
in. Yeah.
And then
It's
he
amazing.
finished telling me, Coop, when he had a gas car, he'd run out of gas regularly.
I would.
And he had to walk to the gas station.
Where I live.
I'm 63 years old, Coop. Knock on wood.
Dale,
I've never run out of gas.
Dale, I have not either.
No.
Never.
I used to push it as far as humanly possible. 'Cause I hated
I mean,
filling
I-
up. I had to fill up so much with how much I drove that I hated doing the process.
But if you walk one time,
Yeah.
you have to walk one
See,
time.
but that's the problem. But then once you do it once, you go, this will never happen to me again. And then it
Dude.
happens again. You're like, you idiot.
Steve,
And then you do it again.
Steve, we have to talk, man.
Yeah.
Seriously.
We need to solve the crooked numbers before we solve my mental sickness. Look, there have been therapists and girls all over this world. There's a long line of them trying to figure out what's wrong with me. They're all just perplexed. So, you guys probably aren't going to be able to do it either in that stuff. But before you came in here, we were talking about, you and I will get into Arizona and the D-backs more in depth and stuff like that. But I'm asking a legitimate question here for the Diamondbacks.
Okay.
They put a lineup out yesterday, first game of the season, and they have to scratch Pavin Smith because of an elbow soreness before the game. They're just, what is this team doing by not knowing that he's injured enough? He even said, Steve Gilbert talked to Pavin Smith yesterday as well, and he said, here's the quote from the tweet. Pavin said he's probably going to have an MRI on his elbow tomorrow morning, meaning today, and he said it was just too uncomfortable swinging a bat. That's not an injury that he was fine on Wednesday, and then yesterday he showed up in batting practice, and it showed up itself. Is it?
You
To where they have to scratch him?
I hate to say it, but I mean, baseball players and their injuries, they really bother me. I mean, and they really do. I mean, look. We've all seen this. They got a cracked fingernail,
Yeah.
or
A blister.
But blisters on pitchers on their
Yeah,
pitching
no, I
end,
understand.
that. Yeah. It sounds wussy, but I understand.
Yeah. Look.
Gotta control the ball.
Look, I'm going to play through a sore elbow. Are you freaking kidding? Look, I didn't know that's why Tim Tawa was in the lineup.
And the lineup came out with Pavin in the lineup, and then they had to scratch him and put Tawa in there as DH.
I mean, look, this is opening.
It's embarrassing.
This is opening day. You've just concluded a month and a half spring training. You can't speak up or let. I mean, you.
How do they not know about it?
Well, first of all, the player himself has to go and let trainers or management know that
I agree with that.
that he has an issue.
But even in batting practice, if it was so uncomfortable swinging a
Yeah,
bat,
I mean,
not
that-
one person went, you don't look right.
well, look, I put that totally 1,000% on Pavin Smith.
Okay.
I mean,
Really? Okay.
yeah, I do. I mean, I'm not going to.
Yeah, but as a side note, I mean, Dale, how many times did you not feel right going into a
Yeah,
game?
but wait, it's a
you
different
pushed through
game.
it?
And I've told Steve, the thing that bothers me more than anything, you kind of alluded to it, is the type of injuries. Like what somebody got scratched the other day from the Diamondbacks game for soreness.
Well, that was Ketel Marte.
Well, went on, or I never played a game that I wasn't sore.
Right.
Are you
Right.
kidding me? But here's the thing. I just want you to keep an eye on it because I started noticing it last year. The young pitcher who could throw 100 miles an hour. Then he started having some arm issues. He ended up having
Martinez.
Justin Martinez.
Yes. So they
And
sat him down.
they
Didn't
pitched
do
him.
anything.
Yeah.
Brought him back. Instead of sending him in for imaging immediately, they got an MRI machine right there.
It was like 2 weeks later.
Yeah, it's
they
like 2
sent him
weeks
in.
later they sent him in.
And then
for
it came
imaging.
back clean, they said. And then next thing you know, like a week later, they're like, nope, he does need Tommy John surgery. or whatever.
That's totally a disservice to Martinez by the medical staff.
Yes.
there in the
But it's a
Diamondbacks.
constant thing.
It's happened a
but-
few
And then
times.
Marte, now I know it was spring training the other night, but last year they sat him after 2 games in the Giants for the 3rd game in that series. And Torey Lovullo went to the crowd and said, he's really sore today. It's tough on his body because he has the wind at his back in San Francisco for 2 days. So we need to take him out of this game today.
That does more injustice to the player than anything because all it's going to invite a lot of scrutiny and criticism.
Well, it's got my ears.
Yeah, and it changes the perception of that player.
Yes.
Based on
Absolutely.
some idiocy like that.
Yeah.
But my point on Pavin Smith though is I once was talking to a major league pitcher, and I said, he actually had a terrible outing. So I asked him, and it was outside of a baseball environment, it was someplace else, and I said, hey man, let me ask you something. I go, what were you feeling in the ball? He goes, when I was warming up, I just had nothing. I knew it was going to be a bad day. My pitchers weren't feeling right. I wasn't feeling right. And you started the game, and I got lit up.
Well, so he can't speak up and
No.
say anything?
No, this is the point, though. But I said, why didn't you speak up? He goes, you know how many times I felt that way and got into a game and pitched really well?
Yeah.
He goes, as a competitor, you go out there and you fight it. I mean, who was it? One of the Yankees pitchers showed up drunk and all that stuff and was throwing up everywhere on cocaine and threw a no-hitter.
That Wells guy.
Yeah, the big guy.
Oh, David
whatever
Wells.
he
Yeah.
was on. But as a competitor, I can understand. But if it was so bad before the game where you have to scratch your mouth, what do the lineups do? Aren't they do like 90 minutes before game
Something
time?
Something like that.
So you mean to tell me through batting practice, warm-ups, stretching, fielding grounders, and nobody went, his elbow doesn't look right.
Well, no.
He doesn't look right out
Pavin Smith, that would be on him. I'm absolving.
But then we complain when Ketel Marte goes to
but
the team
no,
and
no,
says,
that-
I need a day off because the wind was at my back.
Well, that's stupid. That's stupid. I mean, it has to be something legitimate. I mean, look. Torey has 25 other players that he's watching, and maybe he's looking at the lineup.
It's not just
and
Torey, though. It's a whole staff of
but
people.
I mean, look. When I look out, even if I'm a fan, if I look out and watch some Diamondback players, my eyes are riveting towards like the Corbin Carrolls and the Ketel Marte. I mean, I don't even notice a Pavin Smith out there, to be honest.
Right.
with you.
Well, that's what I contend, too.
and-
Pavin
but-
Smith's on this team again this year, and he was injury-prone last year. But here's the other side of it. He's like their one left-handed. They don't like lefties on this team. No left-handed bullpen pitchers. He's like the only one. Do they have another left-handed guy that can come in DH?
Well, let me tell you something. Speaking of their relief pitching last night, I thought Juan Murillo, when he came in the 5th.
Well, he gave up the one run, but
Well, but that was an inherited run.
Exactly.
And let me tell you something. He ate Will Smith up on him. Will Smith's a right-handed pitcher. They have an overshift on him. And he really squibbed one to first base. So if Santana's playing his normal position depth there, it's an easy out. But he has to come all the way over and dive. I mean, it was such a squibber that he had time to get over there and kind of dive and stop it. I mean, if he would have been able to control it right away, I think they get him out. But either way, I thought he pitched well. That's all he gave up.
Yeah, I agree. Though. I agree. With you.
Ryan Thompson came in, a clean inning. Taylor Clark, former Diamondback, he's the one that stunk it up because I'm not really
Former Diamondback come
yeah,
back to the Diamondbacks.
yeah, and Andrew Hoffman cleaned up again. So if you look at it, Gallen allowed the 4 runs, and I thought Gallen pitched really well.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you.
He got 4 innings, no runs, anything like that. In that 5th inning, I know they talk a lot about defense, and it was a scorcher. But if Ketel Marte comes up with that play, that backhanded play, and gets it out, it's a completely different inning.
You can't make excuses that it was a scorcher when the best second baseman of baseball fumbles that.
Okay,
I
thought
that is a ball you catch when you're that good.
If he gets that, because the next batter, Teoscar Hernandez, hits like a little squibber back to the right of the mound, and he just beat it out.
That's like saying a wide receiver, like, oh, the ball was thrown too hard, so he couldn't catch it. No, it hits you in the hands. You got to catch.
Yeah, no doubt.
I know it was a tough play. I know it was a weird bounce.
I'm just saying that's what got Gallen in trouble to the point to where he hung a pitch, and instead of maybe being a solo home run by Paez, it's a 3-run homer. And so the whole complexion of the inning changed. And I thought, just like you said, the Diamondbacks are putting a bigger emphasis on defense, and I thought Arenado was just play out this age? Absolutely. He was.
That's why he's there.
That's the same type of ball that was I called a scorcher that Ketel didn't make. That's what I was going
to bring up to you when you said that Mattel. Look, guys make mistakes. I'm not going to say Ketel Marte sucks now. Guys will make mistakes in the field. They're errors for a reason.
Right.
But your third baseman made that same.
Sure.
Actually,
Absolutely.
I would actually argue maybe not as hard as a play or a harder play than what Marte did for that thing. So, but I get it. Like I said, I'm not going to be too hard on Marte, but you can't give the Dodgers extra at bats.
You can't, and I thought that's a great emphasis for the Diamondbacks this year to be more defense. But if I look at some of the positives, I mean, I thought Jordan Lawler. Lourdes Gurriel doesn't make that play in left field.
Yeah. I was worried about Lawler in the outfield when I watched O'Neill in Pittsburgh.
Oh, jeez.
Because it was his first game in center field for them.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know if you saw that. I mean, he let Paul Skeens down galore. Pop-ups that are just dropping and over his head. But so I saw that in the morning, and I went, "Oh my God, please, Lawler, don't do that today."
I think Skeens only lasted 2/3 of an inning.
2/3 of an inning, 37 pitches. Dude, I think they pulled him because it's the first game. Why put extra stress on him when the fielders let him down? But I saw that, and then instantly my mind went to, "Oh, Lawler, just be ready tonight, buddy."
Lawler, I'm watching him. He's an athlete, and I think I've said on this show before, I'm hoping that he can pull a Fernando Tatis, an infielder who makes a great transition to the outfield.
I have no doubt he's going.
And I don't either.
My question with Lawler is, can he hit consistent?
Well, that's going to be the $64 million question. He did so in spring training, but we know that's a different subject when you get to the major.
1 for 3 yesterday.
Yeah, his first hit was a double, and if you notice that he went 1 for 3, but the other 2 at bats, he worked it to a full count. And I'm like, okay, this dude's going to be okay.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Dale, did you watch the whole game last night, or you just only catch part of it?
Diamondbacks?
Yes.
No, I did. I watched part of
it. Because it was on regular TV. You didn't have to have Netflix.
Yeah,
it was on NBC or Peacock.
Yeah, but there's another game on a little more exciting.
Oh, I thought it was a blowout.
That's what I was wondering.
Excited to watch, Coop. Go on now.
That's what I was wondering. I didn't know if people were switching back and forth or what. That's why I asked that there. But, I mean, you brought up Gallen here, and we'll go in depth here when Dale leaves because, but Gallen,
I thought he threw well. I really did.
4 innings pitched, but it's the exact same setup as he had his last year's opening day, or 2023 opening day against the Dodgers. 8-2 loss, 4 2/3 inning in 2023, 6 hits, 5 runs, 5 earned runs, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts. If anything, he's lost his strikeout ability here. 2026 yesterday. 4 innings pitched, 5 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned runs, 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. But he fell apart there.
But Steve,
in that fourth inning,
this Dodgers lineup in 2026, just like it was in 2025, is far more potent than the one in 2023. Zach Gallen, if you watch it, he went through Ohtani, Freeman, Betts. I mean, he went through that lineup twice, basically.
I'm phrasing it
And-
that way for a reason, Coop.
Okay.
You want so Dale, your thoughts on this too? This is a guy that thought he was going to get a $20 million plus year contract, had to come back to the Diamondbacks on the other side. I know it's one start. I know it's against the Dodgers. It's not the outing you really want to see, though, against a guy that says he's worth so much more money.
I'm telling you, he had 4 shutout innings against the Dodgers, has a 2-0 lead. I'm telling you, I know it didn't happen, but if Ketel Marte makes that play, the inning's completely different.
I agree.
It's completely different, and I bet the worst that he would have given up in that situation is like a blast to
a single home run. Dale, Gallon. Any negative thoughts or any concerns for him going into after one game?
I always have had such a hard time analyzing each and every baseball game.
I know you do.
162 games. This isn't football or even basketball, but I saw positive signs. Again, what did we go into this weekend thinking? If the Diamondbacks got one, it'd be okay
against the Dodgers.
Against the Dodgers,
and you don't expect that victory to come over Yokomoto.
No,
I mean, he's on the Diamondbacks. I mean, I think I read a stat going in that his WHIP and his ERA against the Diamondbacks is microscopic. I can't remember.
He would be in beyond whatever is above the Hall of Fame. He would be in it if that was his regular numbers.
And
He's
look, so
out.
you didn't really expect them to win, but I mean, here Gallon and the Diamondbacks have a 2-0 lead, and here's the deal. You talk about hitting in bad luck. You talk about Jordan Lawler led off with a double. Then there was an infield single, and I'm telling you, with runners at second, and Freddie Freeman just happened to be in the right place at the right time. I mean, that's going to score 2 if Freeman doesn't make that play.
I got a little bit of hope on the Diamondbacks because again, I watched Webb on Wednesday night, WBC pitcher. I watched Skeens yesterday struggle as well. Another guy on the WBC team struggled yesterday as well as a pitcher. So I went into that going, maybe Yamamoto tonight's going to suck. Nope. But this is my point. This is why I'm watching Gallon this year. It's one start. I'm not saying panic, anything to that effect. But Yamamoto comes into this game, wants to be a high-paid pitcher, one of the better pitchers in Major League Baseball. 6 innings, only gave up 2 earned runs, pitched unbelievably lights out in my eyes.
No, but again, he got some luck. Again, we just talked about a play that he got defensively that Gallon didn't get. And so that's and that's part of 162.
And by the way, I'm looking at this as Gallon is come back for this 1-year deal to sell himself as you guys. Somebody should pay me $20+ million a year. That's how I'm looking at Gallon on the mound here right
Steve,
now. Not that he's
Steve,
terrible and all that.
You're looking at probably 32 to 33 starts, and
Hopefully.
I don't expect him to go 32-0.
Yeah.
With a 0.00 ERA.
No.
Look,
but he has a 90 ERA right now too.
He pitched well for 4 innings and he got some bad luck behind it.
I
telling you,
agree.
Yamamoto could have given up easily 4 runs if not for a stellar defensive play by his first baseman. Freddie
Yamamoto
Freeman.
hung a pitch to Perdomo that he just launched out of the ballpark too. So I mean, mistakes happen. But no, I just wanted to get opinions on that. Believe it or not, I've never been a Zach Gallen. I just think Zach Gallen's a mediocre pitcher.
You guys,
hold on.
Hey.
He had a great, fantastic year, and he deserves all the credit for that 1 year. But other than that, I just think
You guys talk Diamondbacks for the whole second hour. Coop, my question to you is: when we see you on Tuesday, are we talking about U of A in the Final Four?
U of A against Purdue. Purdue doesn't really excite me.
No.
But I tell you what they do. I think they can match better than what Arkansas did. U of A's physicality and play in the paint. See, U of A I said on this show on Tuesday, Arkansas's only chance is transition. They have to run. They can't play a half-court game because they'll get beat up. I think Purdue can match up in a half-court set physically better than what Arkansas did. But at the end of the day, I look for U of A, and I'm going to stick with my pool. U of A and Michigan will play, and Michigan will win. And
Really?
that's what happened because I've told you guys I'm a huge Yaxel Lindenberg fan. I wanted this guy for the Phoenix Suns a year ago when he played at UAB, but he transferred this year to Michigan. I thought he's coming out. I'm telling you, this Michigan can play up and down. They can play in the paint. They can block shots. They're athletic. I look for Michigan. But yes, to answer your question, I expect U of A to be in the Final Four,
Okay.
and they'll lose to Michigan.
Well, we'll talk about that next week. The other thing is, didn't it show you? I mean, it does not matter what you choose to play against Arizona. Arkansas would want to go up tempo. That's not really Arizona's game. Arizona inside banging a lot of 2-pointers but hey, you want to run on us? All right, watch it. They scored 109 points, Coop.
They did, but you know what, Dale? They got where they wanted in the paint.
Yes.
I don't know if they made a 3-pointer. I mean,
No, they made a couple, like 5, 4.
They don't.
Yeah, my point. But my point is that
Pete had 21 by the way.
Yeah, Arkansas had no ability to keep U of A from getting where they wanted on the floor.
Right.
I mean that's how they got 109 points. It was like, yeah, I mean wherever we want on that spot floor we can get, and I think they'll be physically challenged in that physicality aspect against Purdue, but I don't expect them to beat Purdue. I don't expect Purdue to beat them.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
So I was questionable. I thought Purdue might be able to beat Arizona when the tournament started. I kind of waffled on that a little bit. I just don't know if Purdue can score as much as Arizona.
No, they
can.
can't.
And
They
that's how
can't.
Texas
They
is a
can't.
good defensive team, but they only scored 79. Yet they struggled with Texas. Arizona's another step up. I think that's going to be the problem for Purdue.
It should be an easy win for U of A.
Dale's got to take off. Me and Coop will get you the rest of the way and everything. Dale, go hit him straight. Win some money.
Hey, figure out the Diamondbacks' problems. We only got 161 more games
Hey,
to figure it
Dale,
out.
when we come back on Monday, Diamondbacks' record will be with 3 against the Dodgers.
0-3.
I think
Maybe 1 and 2.
I think Ryan Nelson can keep those Dodger hitters under control.
It's the bullpen. When you go to the bullpen, you got to worry about.
Yeah, it is. But look, I thought they pitched well, except for Taylor Clark.
Yep. So Dale, get out of here. Go have fun with your men's club. Me and Coop got it the rest of the way.
Good luck on the EV car.
Yeah.
And Dale, while you're at it,
Might call you later for a ride.
See if you can get an addendum for a Warrior and a Mustang.
Yeah. I don't got that much clout.
Come on back, folks. Second hour main event with Bruce Cooper coming up next. And we're here on Friday. Coop came in and helping us out since Dale has this Hall of Fame weekend at the club that us Warriors and Mustangs aren't allowed to go to there. Coop's coming in. We're talking some Diamondbacks. We're going to get into the, of course, Sweet 16. Tonight's Sweet 16 matchups are going to be fantastic there in D.C.
And you know, I honestly thought that the Big 12 would be represented like we're seeing the Big 10 right now.
Yeah, Houston let us down last night.
I mean, Big 10 has 5 teams left. Big 12's down to 2 teams.
And 2 of them had to play each other.
Yeah, and 2 of them
Big
had to play.
Tens,
So they're guaranteed at least 1 spot in the Final Four.
Yeah. It's Big 12 with all the talk about it. Like, Houston losing to Illinois last night was just, especially at home, that was awful.
That 17-0 run is just inexplicable.
For a defensive team, for that to happen against you. But I don't know. I wonder. They were playing 2 miles from their campus. Did that affect them?
Yeah, they were at the Toyota Center.
They literally, it's like 2.3 miles from where they play their home games.
That's a good point.
And Illinois and Iowa and the team Iowa came back and beat Nebraska. You know, they all had to travel in there. All they heard all week and were answering questions. Sure. How hard is it going to be to play against Houston at home and all of this? Even our Samson, when he got off the bus at the hotel and he goes, "Woo, that was a tough flight." Like even they were. That kind of worried me a little bit because that told me he was like joking around about not having to.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I hadn't thought about that, but you know that's certainly food for thought.
You get less like Iowa. Illinois, less distractions, right? They're in their hotel, maybe families there, but no distractions. Houston, everybody your friends are still there. Sure. I don't know. I don't know if it played into it, but that was a shocker last night.
I think that psychologically could have played a big factor because they're thinking they're at home.
Yeah.
Basically, their home crowd there, their home, and they just didn't come with the same focus and intensity that they would, and when they got hit with that 17-0 run. Now they're trying to fight and claw their way back in, but now they're playing against a team that's got a lot of confidence.
And Illinois is a good team.
Sure.
It's not a shocker that Illinois won that game. I mean, it's considered an upset, but it's not a shocker. They're a really good team. That's what kind of shocks me. Is Houston. I felt like Houston was like, "Oh, we'll beat Illinois, no problem." People sleep on Illinois because they're from Champaign and
but they're a 3 seed, right? They're 2 seed versus 3 seed. So I mean anything's possible. But I hadn't thought about the point you made relative to the lackadaisical play because
knowing the results, it's easier for me to say that. But I remember when I saw him get off the bus and go, "Oh, the travel here was rough." When they lost last night, this morning, I was thinking about that, going, They were a little lax, a little bit too comfortable going into this game.
Good point.
Probably there, but Iowa had to come back as well to beat Nebraska. Most shocking thing happened yesterday, and I had the game on when this happened, and I didn't count the guys, but even the announcers saying it. Nebraska, after a timeout, only had 4 guys on the court. At that point, they were down to Iowa by 2 points.
Oh, really? They came back on the floor with 4?
4 guys. And Iowa went and scored, obviously, man advantage. To make it a 4-point game, and then they kind of never looked back after that. That's a fireable offense in my eyes, man. In a tournament situation like that, let alone any.
But here's the deal. It is, but it isn't, because you know what? Nebraska, for the first time in school history.
You think they're good? You think they're just happy with this stat?
Well, look. They won an NC2A tournament game. That blew me away when I heard that. I said, "Are you freaking kidding me?"
And they've been in these things since what, 1940s?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, they missed a lot of years.
Look, we know the Bob Devaney and Tom Osborne years with the Nebraska football team. They're synonymous with
not winning the big one.
They won national championships with those guys, but I mean, the basketball team never won a tournament game. Dude, stop it!
You make the NCAA tournament multiple times. You would just almost luck your way into a win, right?
Yeah, come on, man.
It's ridiculous. But the Hawkeyes, only led the last 2 minutes and 10 seconds the entire night. Nebraska
Yeah.
had that game
Yeah,
won. Iowa came back. And,
Yeah, and so while you make a good point, it's a fireable offense. I mean, you got to put some kind of perspective on it.
I'm
I
being
mean,
a little sarcastic in that, but
well,
it can't happen with 2 minutes
is.
to go.
It is. I mean, it really is. I mean, it's inexplicable.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm not saying you go fire a coach that won you your first tournament game and ever, and he's got a good
and
team
he got
there.
you to the Sweet 16
Yeah,
for crying
that's
out
the thing.
loud.
So I'm being a little facetious with that, but that is unacceptable. to happen.
But here's the deal. You know how. When you fill out your brackets, you look for that 5-12,
Yeah.
4-13 upset and stuff.
Well, not anymore, but yeah.
So I'm looking. I said, let me see if I can find one. I said, look. So I heard that stat. Nebraska had never won a game, and I said, I'm going to play that. And so I did. I played them to get upset in the first round, and they didn't. Not only did I lose that, but I lost the next game because
they won the
Nebraska
second
still
one,
didn't win that one.
See, I went the opposite. I did it. I think was it last year, or the year before, when Nebraska was in there. I actually put I do little $5 bets. I put $5 on Nebraska to win. I do it every year because I'm like, you can't just keep losing in the first round and not win a game. So this year it finally paid off, but I probably have lost $20 betting against that leading up to it. But that was a fantastic game last night. I was the 9th seed. That's the biggest upset we have in this tournament in terms of making it far and stuff like that. But Iowa doesn't play like a 9th seed. I'm not saying they're going to go to the Final Four in the championship game, but Iowa does not play like a 9th seed.
No, they don't
at all.
My biggest regret as it relates to my my pool, is I really truly felt, and I played my heart here, the Big 12.
Yeah.
I without Richie Saunders, BYU is just down to really DeBonza.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, and so
one guy took down BYU. One guy getting injured,
right,
ruined the BYU season.
Right. I mean, he's a terrific
and
3-point shooter too. So, but I took them over the 11 seed Texas Longhorns.
Yeah.
And I knew going in, I said, BYU's not playing well at all. They're not playing, but I took them because they're in the Big 12, and that cost me.
You know why I took BYU in that game? Well, one, I don't have faith in Sean Miller in Texas, so my fault this year. This year it turns out to be true. You should have had faith in him. Even last night against Purdue, I was sweating at the end there. But the reason why I took BYU is because AJ, the 17-year-old phenom that's going to go pro, I saw him come out and I saw him say, I only get one chance at this tournament, and I need to represent. I want to go far in this. And I was like, all right, he's focused. Even though they had the injury, I figured that I didn't think they'd go far, but I thought they'd beat Texas in that game. Because by those comments, I read it as, okay, this kid knows his position. He knows he's not going to get another shot at this. It's something that he wants to do well in. So I put faith in him. He ended up playing really well.
Yeah, he dropped 35.
Yeah,
but
the problem is when that other guy went down for them, then that team changed to where they're sloppy. Yeah. One guy. And that's what amazes me, isn't it? Now, don't get me wrong. Really good player. So, I mean, you lose your second best player, you're going to suffer. But isn't it amazing how one guy can tank over?
Yeah. And if you watch the BYU Arizona game in Provo.
Yeah, so the first one.
Yeah, the first one. U of A, and I'm just going to exaggerate, but they had like a 40-point lead with a minute left to play. Yeah. And next thing you know, man, it's going down to a one possession.
And that was when the kid was healthy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot his name.
Arizona was turning the ball over, and Richie Saunders hit like 3 threes.
Yeah.
And so, but he's a really good 3-point shooter, and he would help take some of the doubles that DeBonza was seeing. DeBonza had to work extra hard to get off his shots down the stretch when Saunders went out.
I mean, Sean Miller and Texas. My dream matchup, I'm not going to lie to you. Once Texas got to the
Texas,
second
Arizona?
round, was Texas, Arizona. Yeah. I want to see Sean Miller, Tommy Lloyd face off in that type of a game, especially the way Texas plays defense. Yeah. I would have loved to have seen that matchup. Just the storylines galore going into this game would have been amazing to watch and pay attention to. But I hate Texas. I'm glad they're out.
Yeah. You know, Texas has a player. They have a guy. His name is Swain. I really like him. I would normally like him for the Phoenix Suns, but Phoenix Suns already have enough players
say.
like that.
He plays that. He plays the style that most of the Suns players play at.
Right. We got enough of those kind of guys.
Suns
And
need
so,
length in this draft, don't
yeah.
they?
Yeah, well, like I said, I think the guy that would be great for him, but Lindenberg has played so phenomenally that he's no longer a late first round pick. He's going to be a lottery pick.
That's the problem with this tournament is guys play themselves up that you can normally get in a late draft.
Yeah.
pick, and they play themselves into it. This Purdue Arizona game, watching both Purdue all tournament long and Arizona all tournament long. The difference to me in this game is I don't see how Purdue's going to outscore Arizona. That's the difference in my eyes.
No, look, I believe didn't Braden Smith break Bobby Hurley's assist record?
Did he actually break it now, or is it tied?
No, he broke it.
Did he break? Okay,
yeah, he broke it.
yeah.
So look, he's just one of those smart, heady players, but he's far from enough. I mean, Purdue just from an overall team. Because I think Arizona, when they go to the bench, they bringing in Toby Awaka.
Yeah.
Did you see the slam dunk he had last
Yeah.
night? I mean, he's just a beast.
Well, I
He's
hate to
just
say this. I know, but I mean, you just bring Bradley. Bradley can be on the bench, and you bring him back in,
Yeah.
and it's the game changes. It's
Yeah,
regardless of who's in that game, it's just
well,
wave after wave.
Well, here's what I think really helped Arizona a lot. And remember when Koa Pete got hurt?
Mhm.
So they had to find someone to fill in for him. So they brought in Anthony Del Orso.
Yeah.
Orso had just been, okay up to that point, but he started dropping like 20-plus point games like they were going out of style. To the point it's like, you can't take him off the floor now, but they did, but he's now an integral part of their bench play.
Yeah.
Him and Owaka coming in.
14 points last night for him.
Yeah, I mean, it just made Arizona a deeper team.
I just don't know. Now, these are younger kids. They don't know what they don't know at Arizona and stuff like that. But I just wonder if the pressure keeps them out. The closer you get to that championship game, especially with Arizona. And I also questioned yesterday, I wondered this. There is a reason why the rumors came out that Tommy Lloyd and his athletic director aren't getting along. There's a reason that came out, and it came from someplace. And I don't even if he's not leaving and he's just angling for a better contract with Arizona and a pay raise, even if it's just that, how closer you get to the Final Four, the more those questions are going to be prevalent.
Yeah, but you know what? He never really came out and said no about that North Carolina job anyway.
That's my point. He said, I'm focusing on Arizona.
Right.
He says what every coach says.
Absolutely.
We're on a run here and we could win a championship. I'm focusing on this team right now.
But
you know who's not focusing on this team right now? His agent.
Yeah.
Who's talking. And it came out yesterday that his agents, this is what baffles me. The athletic director at Arizona came out and told some reporter, we've been in talks with Tommy Lloyd to extend him all season long. When negotiations happen all season long, that's a red flag to me.
Yeah,
an extension shouldn't take multiple months to get done.
Yeah, Desiree should not be a reason why Tommy Lloyd would want to leave. I mean,
whether it's true or not, that rumor came out.
Yeah, you want if as an athletic director, and she's a female athletic director, and I'm trying to throw in, but you should embrace someone who is a value to the university.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy gets you into Sweet 16 annually.
Yeah.
And you have a great chance now to be crowned champion for the second time in school history. Why would there be any friction?
You just won
all?
the Big 12, which in the regular season is the hardest conference. Big 12 rival this year, or Big 10. So why are you picking a fight with them?
Yeah, it makes zero sense.
It does. Now, like I said, I don't always necessarily believe these things. I mean, Tommy Lloyd's
but it's
camp,
out there. It's out
Tommy Lloyd's camp could have just floated that out there, like, hey, North Carolina, Kansas could be opening here. Let's start floating that out there so they come back here, and he could be angling for a pay raise at Arizona. But regardless, I don't care what you say. I don't care. You're a human being. I've been in situations where I've been happy at a job, but another company has come along, and you're talking to them. They're doing some other stuff behind the scenes, and you're focused on your job. And I know it's not sports; it's the business world. But I'm not gonna lie to you. There were times where my boss would do something, and I'd be like, "I don't care. I got this other thing brewing over here, buddy.
Yeah,
that I can step into."
here's it. Where's Tommy? I don't really know Tommy Lloyd's background. I just knew that
Where's
he was
he from
Mark,
and everything?
Yeah, I knew he was. Yeah, I knew he was Mark Few's assistant
Yeah,
for years.
I agree with you. Let me look it up here real quick so I don't speak out of term. But I mean, I think he comes from the West Coast,
Okay.
obviously, because of the Gonzaga ties. Doesn't mean he's always been there, but let me look that up real quick here. But I mean, whether you want to admit this or not, 99% of coaches, North Carolina or Kansas opens up, you're interested.
Yeah, but you know me, and
You're at least interested in the conversation.
And I agree with you. But you know what Lute Olson did? He made Arizona one of those blue bloods. I mean, it's like
It's
when you
different,
talk.
though. I'm
when
telling
you talk,
you,
yeah,
your coaches view North Carolina and Kansas completely different.
there's no question. But I'm telling you, I just don't think that there's that huge a drop off.
Well, especially now with NIL. I would actually argue, like everybody's doing, blue bloods don't exist anymore. That's why I'm putting Kansas over North Carolina, because North Carolina's they're fighting over their arena. The alumni and the fans don't want the arena that Dean built, right? They don't want that to go away.
Yeah.
But the school wants to build a new arena. They have to build it off campus.
It's the same thing that Duke
Just
goes
headaches.
through with Cameron Indoor. It's
but Kansas doesn't have that stuff, and they both have just unbelievable. Whether you like to say it or not, Arizona has limited NIL funds. You know who doesn't? North Carolina and
well,
Kansas
they
and
do,
Kentucky.
but I'll tell you what I'll tell you what really shocked me is that I know Bobby Hurley got a lot of criticism at ASU and justifiably so, but you know what? I saw some numbers that just blew me away. You know that Bobby was working with a budget of just shy of $4 million.
Yeah.
And
For his NIL money?
and Arizona, yeah, NIL, and U of A was hitting closer to $12 million.
9.5, I think, is what they settled on this year. and stuff.
9.5.
I think. Not just that. The athletic budget for the basketball. U of A's $20 million. ASU's $10 million. That's the whole budget for the basketball. So that's travel, food, all that stuff. $10 million short from Arizona on top.
Yeah,
of that.
I just remember it was a significant
Yeah,
difference.
but my argument with Bobby Hurley and Arizona State is Bobby Hurley showed you can win with less at Arizona State.
Yeah.
He just couldn't do
So
it.
you can't sustain it.
consistently.
Yeah, can't sustain it. Yeah.
So you need somebody that can win with less. A guy at St. Mary's.
But yeah,
And I need a guy that can win with less with consistency. And that's why I told you, and you jumped all over my back a couple weeks ago. Because I said, just get somebody in here that you can beat TCU on the road and West Virginia on the road. You might lose to Houston and the big schools, but get there.
I don't like the premise of I have to settle.
No, I'm not saying settle.
Yeah,
But what Bobby Hurley would have this year alone would have beat West Virginia and beat UCF when he had leads in those games with a few minutes to go and dominating it, and you lost those. If he would beat those teams, he might still have a job today.
Hey, let me tell you something. They finished 17-16.
Yeah, they had a winning record overall.
I can think of 4 different games that they should have won.
Yeah.
Those 4 different.
So-
The difference in those 4 games between 17 and 16, it means that you're 21 and 12.
Yeah, so I'm
21
not
and
saying
12.
so I'm not saying don't have the expectation to compete with Houston and Arizona. What I'm saying is your main focus right now, a coach that can win consistently against the teams you should be. If Randy Bennett has a lead with 5 minutes to go and the foul advantage, meaning every time they foul you, you go to the free throw line with 5 minutes to go and you're up by 12, Randy Bennett's not losing that game, I don't think. Whereas Bobby Hurley lost it at UCF.
Yeah.
That's what you need at Arizona State, I think, to go. And that's why they needed to make the change.
Yeah, absolutely. Because like the 4 games I just talked about, a difference of 17 and 16 and 21 and 12.
Yeah,
dude, you're in the tournament.
You're in the tournament.
I mean,
you get to 20 wins in the Big 12. You're in the
absolutely.
tournament. It might be a play-in game, but you're in the conversation for the tournament.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where. So when people say Bobby Hurley was so terrible, the cupboard's bare. I actually don't agree with that.
No,
especially cupboard's not bare ever in college basketball because you can change it.
They played a lot of close games, and I know Bobby Hurley gets credit for a lot of second half comeback wins on his resume. But At the same time, he
They
also
played terrible in the first half.
He also lost a number of those games.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
what
So
he
I think Bobby Hurley proved you can win at Arizona
Yeah,
State.
what-
You just got to figure out how to do it
what he
consistently.
did consistently at Arizona State, they dominated non-conference play.
Yeah.
And they would beat some blue bloods in those non-conference games.
But and then they play UCF and lose.
and then
And
they
West
get
Virginia
then they
lose.
get to conference play, and either injuries would happen
Colorado.
or they
They
would
lose
just
to
find ways
Colorado.
to lose. Yeah.
You lose at Colorado. How do you lose to Colorado?
Dude, they lost to Washington State.
I know. I know. And it's just so you can win. I'm just telling you, man. You get the and I'm not saying Randy Bennett's the guy that's going to do that.
No,
I'm saying
I think
his
but-
track record
No,
says
but-
he's going to.
No,
do it.
this is what Randy will do, and you mentioned the point. See, Randy, he's going to recruit shooters. He likes shooters.
But you already see the couple kids that
Yeah.
is committed to him here at Arizona State.
No, I just saw that there was one.
Well, then the other ones in the transfer portal. They're expected
Oh, really? Okay.
They're
Okay.
expected to
I
come
hadn't
too.
seen anything like that. But here's the deal. You talk about Arizona State losing to UCF because of their inability to hit front ends of 1-and-1s.
Yeah.
See, like the shooter, the players that Bennett will help, they'll knock those down.
Absolutely.
They may not be as athletic as the players that Bobby brings in, but they'll knock down those free throws.
I just think I'm glad to see this move happen. Just because, even though not a good sign that I know people get sick, but his press conferences can't. People are already knocking him for his age because they want somebody younger.
Yeah.
And then you have to cancel the press conference because he's under the weather, and it's like, people are losing their minds on that. Really quick, Tommy Lloyd, assistant at Gonzaga, 2001 to 21, and then Arizona. That's his experience.
Where is he from?
Where's
he born?
Okay. Where did he grow up at or
Yeah,
whatever?
where did he grow up? Yeah.
Well, I could tell you. God, Wikipedia.
'Cause-
Washington. Yes, I knew it was a West Coast.
okay, West Coast guy. Okay, all right.
Well, he played Walla Walla Community College. He was a player. CSU Pueblo, so Colorado State Pueblo. Wherever Whitman's at, he played there as well. So he's a West Coast guy.
Okay.
I'm not saying, like I said, I'm going to be clear on this. I'm not saying he's going to take a North Carolina or Kansas.
Well, I was just
job.
trying to see where. No, I just
Yeah,
trying to
but
see
he's
where
gonna
his,
parlay-
where his family
Yeah.
background's from.
He's going to parlay this into more money from Arizona.
Okay, that makes.
But I'm telling you, that also can be
Yeah,
a distraction.
yeah. I was just trying to play that Randy Bennett game. So Randy's
Yeah.
coming back home, basically. Where's home for Tommy
Yeah,
Lloyd?
West Coast.
And if it was
Gonzaga.
West
Like
Coast,
if
then
you
okay.
left Gonzaga, I'm not saying he would leave Arizona for Gonzaga, but that could be something you'd have to worry about. I don't think North Carolina, unless they just throw an ungodly amount of money at him. I don't think he leaves Arizona for North Carolina or Kansas. Me personally, unless it's just he wants that challenge.
Well, let me tell you something.
But-
If the money is right, I mean, look,
Telling you.
you're going to a program that
ASU
that is,
almost lost Dillingham to Michigan because of money.
I don't know if that was really true there.
That-
I heard a lot of stuff that I don't know.
I'm not saying he was leaving. I'm saying Michigan threw an ungodly amount of money at him and he rejected it.
Well, it may have been
How
to
many people can
yeah.
do that?
yeah. Yeah, hey, look. I think I'll be honest with you. I think the age factor really is a concern. For a lot of ASU fans, I get that part.
Yeah.
But when you look at this postseason, just this postseason alone, let's call it March Madness,
Mhm.
and you see people like
Yeah.
Rick Pitino, Rick
70-year-olds.
Barnes, Kelvin Sampson. They're on their 70. I'm like, dude.
I don't have it in front of me, but there's only one guy that made the second weekend that's under 30 in
Is
the
that right?
tournament. Most of them are in the 50-year-old range, so
Yeah.
upper 50s. So,
Yeah.
so I mean, what's the difference between 59 and 64, folks? It's
Right,
not
right,
that big of a
right.
difference.
And so-
right? 55 and 64. It's a 9-year difference, but we're not. It'd be different if every team in this conference, every coach was 30. 35.
Yeah,
it would be different,
yeah,
but
to
it's
be-
not the case.
Yeah, to be honest,
they're
when
older.
when I was looking at the list of potential candidates out there, the coach Olin from New Mexico intrigued me the most.
See, but here's what I like about the difference. He's been in New Mexico for how many years?
What, 2 years?
Yeah. We've done that before. Bobby Hurley had successful 2 years at Buffalo.
But
The only one we
but-
didn't do
but-
that on was
no,
Herb Sendek. He went to the tournament
but
5
Olin
years
was-
before he
Olin
came.
was successful.
He was
prior
before
to
that.
where. Yeah.
But at a smaller school.
Yeah.
Whereas Randy Bennett, 25, he went to
I-
South St. Mary's was trash when he got there.
There's no question. Look.
And he
look,
rebuilt it, and he's even better today at St. Mary's than he was before.
You're not going to get me to trash a guy I know and a guy that's an ex-warrior. But I'm just saying I understand what the ASU fan base.
No, I get it, but that's what I'm
is-
trying to
yeah.
convince the fan base of is, yes, he's older, but this is different.
Sure. Again, and that's
He
why-
wasn't the best team in that conference. Gonzaga was.
Yeah.
And he competed with them, and he beat them and stuff like that, right? So this is like you're here. You're not going to be the best team
Yeah.
in the Big 12, but are you going to compete with Houston?
Yeah.
and
See
Arizona?
what he was able to do, since he was the second best team, he could beat up on the rest of the WCC.
That's my point.
That's not going to be the case in the Big 12 necessarily, because everyone, is capable every night.
Yeah.
And if you're
won't-
going,
it won't
if
be
you're,
the
if you're,
same, yeah.
but if I'm Randy, I embrace that challenge, and I know that he's a warrior. He embraces that
Literally?
challenge. Oh yeah, he
Literally a
yeah,
warrior?
he embraces that challenge, and so I think what you're going to find, I think you're going to find that because he's coming in new as well, he's going the meager amount that Bobby Hurley had to work with. I could see that amount doubling
Well,
for Randy
I
Bennett.
can tell you, he's not. I'm speculating here, but I'm 99%. I'm correct. He did not take this job without assurances of what his NIL money is, and
so
stuff
that
like that.
NIL money that was slightly under 4 for Bobby,
Yeah, it's
it'll
going
be
to be a lot more. It's going to be a lot more than that.
Yeah, it'll be like about $8 million for Randy.
Coaches negotiate their NIL money and the money they have to play with. I
Sure.
think before they negotiate their payday,
Sure.
because that's the most important part, and stuff like that. So it's just fascinating to see. But Arizona dominating over Arkansas, Purdue coming up this weekend. So you think coming back on Tuesday when you come back in, we're looking at Arizona in the Final Four?
Arizona versus Michigan.
You got Michigan in there. I just don't know. I see
And-
Michigan
and-
getting knocked off, and Duke
And I got Duke versus Michigan State.
tonight.
No, well, in my Final
I'm
Four
sorry.
bracket.
No, it's UConn, Michigan State tonight.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, but Duke, Michigan State in my Final
Yeah,
Four.
Connecticut. I think I have Connecticut knocking off Duke. In the
Do you
next
really?
round. Yeah, but here's my problem. Yeah, I think Duke's going to get knocked off. Here's my issue with tonight's UConn, Michigan State. I have no idea. Michigan State and Tom Izzo,
Uh-huh.
they make it to the grade 8 and Final Four before they spectacularly flame out. UConn, Dan Hurley. Now maybe I'm using Bobby Hurley bias here. Last 2 years, right, gets this far. If he makes it to the Sweet 16, he wins championships. So that trend is still alive. His team is missing something this year, and he just seems angry. And I think Tom Izzo's the better coach than Dan Hurley is overall. So I do think UConn wins this game tonight, but I'm not going to be surprised if Michigan State sticks their heads up and beats UConn tonight.
Well, just to stay alive in my bracket pool, I need my Final Four teams to all hit,
Yeah.
and,
Well, I don't
they're all
disagree.
still alive. And they're all still alive.
Are they really?
Yeah.
So who do you have in the
I have
Florida bracket?
Duke, Michigan State, Michigan, and Arizona, with Michigan playing Duke.
Okay. Well, who are your other two Final Fours?
Yeah, my other
Michigan, Arizona, Duke, and then who's the Florida
Michigan
one?
State. Michigan
Oh,
State. 'Cause I
no,
got
Michigan State's in the Duke bracket.
Right. That's what I was saying. I wasn't trying to say that.
Oh,
Duke-
okay, I see what you're
that,
saying.
That Michigan
Oh,
State
you
was
need
playing,
those teams.
Yeah,
Okay, I
yeah,
see. I'm
yeah.
sorry. Yeah, because I was like, what? Yeah, the only one I have out is Florida right now, but I had Iowa State playing Texas Tech, and I had Michigan out already, but Texas Tech decided to not play it.
Yeah, hey, I'm
Scored
shocked.
40 points.
I'm shocked. Here we are, a night away from the Elite Eight, and I still have all 4 of my Final Four teams.
You know
alive.
the only reason I have Arizona going to the Final Four, actually the championship and winning it all?
Oh,
is
yeah?
Because
Okay.
yeah, I do, yeah. Because I had Duke losing and I had Michigan losing. And I'm like, 3 number 1 teams aren't going to get knocked out of this thing. So I put Arizona in as like a flyer.
Michigan will be the NCAA champions.
Yeah, though going into this tournament, I worried about Arizona. Watching Arizona playing this, I have 0 worries about them. 0 worries about them moving forward.
No.
But going into the tournament, I was like, Purdue can knock them off. type of a situation. But I just don't see it happening now. Watching them play, it's amazing how when you're going into the tournament, you have the thoughts, and then you watch the tournament, and you're like, never mind, Arizona's good.
Yeah.
The thing that shocks me about Arizona is teams that have good freshmen, it's usually one really good freshman. Arizona's got what, 3 that you can count on?
Well,
At least 2 that you would put the ball in their hands at the end of the game.
Well, let me tell you something. As a guy who's covered Arizona with Lute Olson making those runs, I thought his
runs to the first round and getting
no. He's had I think Lute had 3 Final Four teams.
I'm sorry, Arizona fans. It's a shot.
I thought his team with Sean Elliott and Colonel's guys. I thought that was the best team that he's ever had. I was too young. I remember that, but I didn't follow it like I do now. But I've heard that from a lot of people. But yet in 97, and again, you talk about freshmen. That's some kid from Shadow Mountain High School in Phoenix.
But that's my point. But he was the only freshman on that team.
Mike Bibby. Yeah, and he teamed up with Miles Simon. They have
but that's my point. Teams that go on these big runs have one freshman that you put. Arizona's got at least 2. Maybe that third one there that can contribute.
Braden Burries is. He's showing me a lot.
He's better than Koa.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's look for me. Someone asked me that lives in the Bay Area. They asked me after the game last night. It's a cousin of mine. He wanted my thoughts on Koa Pete, and I told him that Koa is a fundamentally sound, physically sound, and physically strong player, but he's not the type of player that you would build a franchise around. He's a good complementary player that you need to win a championship.
So you're saying at number 2, or are you saying like a 3 or a 4 on the team? By number 2, I mean you have a superstar and then Koa is there with it.
I don't look at Koa. Koa is not the type of player that will be a franchise player.
Because as of right now, I'll say similar thing to you. He's not a franchise leading player.
Yeah, he's not.
He'll get drafted, and he won't be like a Devin Booker.
But he's a complementary piece that every team needs to win a championship. No knock on that at all.
He's not a LeBron, but he's the next step.
No, he's not. Yeah. But Braden Burries is a type of player that can carry you.
Put the ball in his hands.
Yeah. He can knock down those big shots.
I wonder about Burries' mentality though, because even in not last night's game, the game before where he got benched, right, and they went to the interview with Lloyd, and he goes, he's shooting too many threes. I told him to stop, and he won't stop. So we'll get him back into the game, but he's got to learn to stop shooting threes. And he's saying this during the game in an interview. And that made me go, Burry's not listening to his coaching?
Well, let me tell you something. but here's the deal. When Burries knocks down a big 3 you needed that, not all of a sudden you're not saying anything. Look, I like the fact that the kid is competitive. And he doesn't shy away from the big moments. He knocks down big shots. I mean, next to Bradley. Bradley's knocked down some big shots in here, but Bradley's a senior.
Bradley does nothing, and then just all of a sudden you're like, Bradley's dominating this game. Like what? It's amazing to watch.
Bradley is not a guy that's going to carry any team. I've seen Burries actually carry the Wildcats during stretches of games this year, and I think he's an elite freshman. I would definitely put him as a lottery player. Maybe the latter half of the lottery, but I think he's a lottery player.
I agree. I
don't look at Koa Pete as a lottery player.
I think I would actually argue Koa Pete might have more of a benefit going back to college another year.
Sure.
Now that changes depending on where you can be drafted, and what I mean by that is it just gives him not more experience, but more exposure. He's not flashy. He's not like Boozer. He's not like AJ BYU.
Right. So
he's not flashy. He's easy to ignore, which is unbelievable to say this because he's amazing when he's on the court. He's easy to be overshadowed, and that's going to hurt you in the NBA when they want those flashy, really good players.
No, but here's the deal. There are 30 teams, and so there'll be 30 first-round picks.
Yes.
And so it's the teams that are drafting 25 or let's say 24 to 30.
Yeah.
They already they need a complimentary piece like him. So he's going to be a first-round pick.
I agree with that. Yeah,
he's first-round pick. So if he wants to come out, he's going to be a first-round pick.
Yeah.
And he's going to, and here's the deal.
I didn't think of it that way.
Here's the deal. Unlike Burries, who's going to be going to a bad team. Pete's going to be going to a good
Go
team.
to a good team.
Yeah, he's going to be going to a good team.
I mean, the Nuggets need a lot of help because the guy just leave everything to Joker. That guy's struggling with the weight on his shoulders there in Denver as well. So, hey, let's take our break here. Come on back. I know we got to get back to baseball as well. Talk a little bit more in depth. Diamondbacks game 1. We like to overanalyze things around here. That's what we do. Come on back. It's the main event. And we're back here. Coops filling in for Dale Hillestray, who went off golfing here today. Was here in that first hour and everything. And I have ABS opening day challenge numbers here for us, Coop.
I know the Diamondbacks did pretty good.
See, those are the situations early you challenge because it kept Corbin Carroll alive. Ends up getting, I think it was a single, but he got a hit after that and everything.
He went from a strikeout to on base.
Yeah, to on base. And was he the one on base when Perdomo hit the home run?
Yes, he was.
So that's how it's supposed to work.
Yeah.
So it was early, but he won the challenge and stayed alive. That's the point of it. The ones like on Wednesday night where the 5th inning is 5-0, 4th inning, and I mean it did look like it was out of the strike zone, but it nipped it. Probably wouldn't challenge in that situation. But hitters challenging yesterday. This is yesterday only. They won 9 out of 15 challenges. The hitters.
Oh, is that right? Wow.
Catchers 10 of 14.
Wow.
Which I would expect the catchers to be dang near perfect. They have the same.
So that's
thing.
That's 19 of what? 34.
19 out of 29.
Okay, 19 to 20. Well, that's not bad.
Pitchers, which no pitcher should ever challenge a pitch, ever. 0 for 1. Yeah. So 19 of 30 was what they ended up being yesterday.
Okay.
Just above 50%. That number needs to be higher if you're going to challenge stuff. 9 of 15 for hitters. What I'm getting at here is that you're going to see an evolution of challenges, right? Who keeps them late, who allows it early. Catchers should always be able to challenge because they have the same viewpoint as the thing. But if hitters are going 9 of 15 overall now, not for all the teams that challenged, you need that number higher. You're wasting opportunities and wasting challenges if you're only at a 50%. It's going to be fascinating to see how these teams individually.
Yeah, so you said 9 of 15 for the hitters and 10 of 14 for catchers?
Yeah. And I saw one of the catcher ones, the catcher challenge, and I mean, it was like you couldn't have put a piece of paper between there to be able, to upheld it. And I'm like, I can understand that challenge as well because that was so close. It doesn't get any closer. But it's going to be fascinating to see how these guys play this going forward and stuff like that. They actually have a stat out there where you can look and see the challenge, and it'll even tell you the stat will tell you how far off, how it was, whether it was a strike or not a strike. It'll tell you the edge distance on it, right, out there. So we're getting way too many numbers here, Coop. We can look up and be like, where'd that miss?
Yeah. Well, I'll put it to you like this. I thought that the positives outweighed the negatives in the Diamondbacks' season opener, even though they lost 8-2.
Look, here's what I'll tell you about that. I am not going to look at the Diamondbacks after the first month of the season. There's always things to be negative about game by game. There's always things to look back and you can get better at it, right? But at the end of the first month of the season, you will not find me looking back at the Diamondbacks season and being upset with whatever their record is, unless it's just ungodly bad.
Well, they're
They have
playing
a
a very
very
challenging.
hard-
They're playing a very challenging schedule.
Very hard beginning of the season. So, it's more of, to me, it's more of how are they hitting? How are the pitchers pitching? How are they hitting? Is the bullpen holding up early? It's more of that stuff individually more than it is their overall record for the first month.
The bullpen concerns me more than anything.
I said yesterday, they have so much talent on this team, folks. Like, the people that say the Diamondbacks don't have talent nationally, I don't know what they're talking about.
No,
Teams would kill for one of the top 2 or 3 second basemen in the league.
Yeah.
People would kill for a shortstop in Perdomo. The third baseman with his glove, I just forgot his
Arenado?
name. Arenado. A lot of teams need a third baseman like that on their team. Santana's a whole nother story.
Yeah, but
you would kill for how these young kids in the outfield.
Right.
They have the talent. The question I got is on the starting pitching is, last year these guys couldn't get to 6-7 innings in a game. They need to do that this year. You cannot. This bullpen is your question on how successful you're. So if they're losing games because the bullpen's losing games for the first month, that's a negative that we're going to have to pay attention to. But an overall record with their schedule and who they're playing, it's going to be what's going to be.
Yeah. Look, the Diamondbacks have their roster is full of, I guess, no names because they build from their farm, and you take a team like the Dodgers who just signed superstar after superstar.
Tucker looked so good last night, didn't he?
Who did?
Tucker. It's first game with the Dodgers.
Yeah. Well,
he only went 1 for 4, but he was
So there is the disparity there. But as we saw, what was 2 or 3 years ago, Diamondbacks took down the Dodgers in postseason on their way.
Dodgers did it too.
On their way to the World Series. So yeah,
they're not invincible, and the Dodgers don't take the but. You got the Tigers next. Yeah, you get Verlander in this series, 41, 42-year-old Verlander.
Tigers had one of the best records in baseball before they hit the tail end of the season and started to melt down.
I have the Tigers winning that division fairly easily, to be honest with you, as well. So I'm not going to judge the Diamondbacks' overall record harshly in the first month. I'll say this. If they have a good record, that sets you up more that they're ready for the playoffs. Because they're playing playoff teams from last year. Now, I know it's a new year, but most of these teams haven't regressed. They've gotten better.
Yeah, and one of the things that I know Perdomo got, I don't know what kind of jump he was looking for. I mean Giacomoto was able to turn around and pick him off, throw him at second base.
He should never be picked off by the pitcher.
Yeah, but I'll say this: he had over 20 home runs and 100 RBI last year. I think he can better those numbers. I really do.
I think he's going to end up, maybe not this year, but he's going to end up top 5 of shortstops in Major League Baseball. He's that much talent.
He has this quiet hunger to be the best, where you see the outward hunger in Corbin Carroll to be the best.
Now, I'm not in the locker room all the time. I've been in it a little bit, but he's a leader on this team, quietly a leader.
Yeah.
People listen to him, which surprises me that Marte gets away with as much as he does, because Perdomo is more the leader than Marte is in that locker room. He's more respected in that locker room than Marte is.
And what I mean by a quiet hunger,
people don't know that.
Versus Corbin's outward hunger.
Yeah.
Corbin tells you publicly he wants to be the best.
Yeah.
You never really hear Jerry say this.
Perdomo, if I wasn't as close to the team and the national media on this stuff, you wouldn't pay attention to Perdomo.
Right.
You would pay attention to his stats and how they light it up, but you're not going to pay attention to him because he is that quote unquote quiet.
He just gets better every year.
He's going to be, if not the best shortstop in Major League Baseball, top 5.
And if you notice that and to show you that, watch his progression. Yeah. He used to be the number 9 hitter.
Remember when
they have him better? He's now top 3. He's now in the top 3 in the lineup.
Yeah, he's 4 last night. He was behind Carroll. Oh no, you're right. He was 3. I apologize. It was Marte, which we're going to talk about leadoff here in a second. Marte, Carroll, Perdomo last night. Yeah, because that challenge, and then that's why Carroll was up there, and then Moreno was 4th last night as well.
Yeah, see, they Diamondbacks don't really have what I call a true cleanup hitter.
No, they don't.
And that's something that.
And you can't have Carroll be the cleanup because you need
No.
him on base because of
Yeah.
his base stealing and
Yeah.
speed and stuff like that. So Marte was the leadoff last night. Carroll was in second there. To me, Carroll's your leadoff hitter. I don't know why they keep putting him not as the leadoff hitter on this team. I don't get it. Why isn't Carroll your leadoff guy, Coop? It's not a knock on Marte.
Yeah, he's your best base stealer. So
That's
yeah,
the thing. Get him
would
on
make,
base.
That would make sense. Yeah.
Marte to me is more. I'm not going to say a power hitter, but Marte's more of a put the ball in the play to advance Carroll type of a position. If Carroll hits a triple, perfect. It's the way to start off the game.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
if Marte's on base and Carroll hits a double, you're not. Marte's fast. Don't get me wrong, but are you getting him his home as easily as you would if the opposite happened with Carroll?
Yeah, I can't argue that. You make a very good point there. I mean, I think Carroll. I think he even led the league in triples a year ago.
Yeah, oh yeah, and it wasn't even close.
Yeah, and so here's a
And
guy.
double. I think he did it in doubles too.
And so here's a guy that you're right. If the way he goes from home to
you could have your leadoff guy on second or third.
yeah. Well, and let's say that Marte walked and Corbin laced one down the right field line. That would be normally a triple for him, but he now has to stop at second because Marte stopped at third. Yeah.
No, it's. I know it's a small thing, but it bothered me last year, and we saw it last night as well. And I'm just like, man, you're missing out here. And I would actually argue Marte, Carroll, Perdomo doesn't scare me as much as Carroll because of what we're talking about.
Yeah.
A Carroll, Marte, Perdomo lineup would be more scary as an opposing team as opposed to more pressure on the defense. Let's put it that way.
Yeah,
more so than a Marte, Carroll, Perdomo type of.
I'll say this about the Diamondbacks. I mean, in addition, and I think they have their closers that on the roster, but they're just on the injured reserve list. So, but they
you just made me think of Seawald.
Yeah, but I think their biggest weakness is a lack of a power hitter. Even though
they're missing it.
Even though, as a team, they'll be like a top 10 home run team.
Yeah. Perdomo showed last night he can lace one, no problem.
Yeah, a year ago they had Eugenio Suarez, who you could normally be called a power hitter, but he strikes out so much that you dropped him in the lineup to like 5 or 6.
Yeah,
and
I hate to put the pressure on the kid, but I could see Lawler being their power hitter coming up here, but he's got to prove it first from that side. But even Alec Thomas,
Well, that's it. Lawler and Thomas have to hit. They have to hit.
And here's the thing that I like. Here's the thing I do like about the lineup. If you want to do it, right? So last night it was, Marte, Carroll, Perdomo, Moreno. Little high for me for Moreno,
Right,
but fine.
I agree.
But then you got Arenado, Santana, which you don't care about their bats, they say. So you're almost giving those spots away, in my opinion. Then Lawler, Thomas, Tawa last night because Pavin Smith was out. I like Lawler and Thomas kind of side by side there. I think that's a unique in the bottom of the lineup. That's going to provide pitching challenges.
And here's the deal: you have an outfield that's not going to give extra outs. You have an outfield that can turn a potential extra base hit into an out.
Yeah.
And so that's valuable. That's really, really, really valuable. Now, if you can just get Thomas and Lawler to hit at a level, maybe not at the same level that a Corbin Carroll hits, but you need them to hit the darn ball. I think the Diamondbacks are going to have a successful season.
Yeah, especially on the bottom sideline. I think the Diamondbacks will struggle with scoring runs and hitting. They'll go through streaks, whether it's 5 games, 10 games, we'll wait and see on that. I think they'll go through streaks of not hitting and not scoring runs, kind of like they did last year. But that's where you need the starting pitching to get to 6. We can't have another season where starter pitchers come July, starting pitching's out of the game in the 4th inning. Consistent.
Yeah,
we can't have another season.
Look, your favorite hurler goes tonight in Ryan Nelson.
He's the most.
Right.
I don't know why they hate him like they do. I don't. He's been the most consistent
Yeah.
guy for 2.5 years.
And
now.
I think he gives the Diamondbacks the best chance to beat the Dodgers this weekend.
100%. I agree with you 100%.
And I find it really odd and unusual that they have a Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
I don't like it.
3-game series. with
I've
Sunday
been
off.
complaining about Major League Baseball's opening of the season for years now. I don't get it. No sense. You just naturally wake up on a Sunday and everybody plays at 1:00
Yeah.
their time zone.
Yeah.
And this year it's like, no, Diamondbacks are off on Sunday. What? You never get Sundays off in baseball, right? And it's the weekend, especially your opening weekend. Say what you want. They're on the road in Dodgers. So give them Friday off. You play Thursday, off Friday, Saturday. They do that a lot. But when are most people going to go to games in L.A.? Folks, Chavez Ravine's out of the way for most people that live in the L.A. basin. It's a long drive to it. You can have more chance of somebody going to a game on a Saturday and a Sunday than you are on a Thursday night or
Yeah.
Friday. Now it's opening
No doubt.
night, so people will show up. But even like tonight, you're going to have more people show up on Saturdays. And to not have that opportunity, I don't get what you're doing.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
No doubt. And just for our viewers here, you say that Dylan Brooks might be in the lineup back return Saturday.
They said what, end of last week? They expect him back in the next week, which tells me this week. And that tells you it's Saturday because he didn't play the other night. Now they're going to push it off. So because they had 4 days off, you're not going to get anything till later today at the earliest, or maybe tomorrow morning you might hear. Probably later today we'll hear if he's going to play or not. I say bring him back for the Jazz for one reason. And I know, Coop, I know I'm setting him up for something. But you bring him back on the Jazz because you can monitor his minutes and you shouldn't need him in the game. Get him out there for 20-something minutes, get his legs underneath him, chemistry work on with the team, get him those feels in that game, kind of like a glorified practice type of a situation. Is what that game should be. And if you need him longer because you're sucking to the Jazz, then you need him longer. But that's why I would bring him back Saturday night and not wait.
And you said Mark Williams is next week?
That's what I've heard. They say sometime next week he'll be back.
Okay, so the Suns have 9 games left in their season starting Saturday.
Yep.
You're bringing Brooks back for the final 9 games, and you figure that maybe you said next week for Mark Williams, so maybe Williams is back with 7 games left?
7, 6, something like that.
Okay. So they basically...
Is that too close for Williams?
So,
Brooks, I'm not worried about.
Well,
is it too close for Williams?
Well, the thing I worry about with big men when you hear about that metatarsal, that little foot bone, is that
it's a tiny bone.
Yeah, it can be a confounding issue. I know there's a guy named Yao Ming that just couldn't seem to.
Big men have this issue. Walton back in the day.
Yeah, Walton's another good example. Yeah, and
it's been a constant thing with guys 7 feet tall for some reason.
And so I'll tell you this. I really liked what I've seen of Malawak, even though Jordan Ott doesn't play him in those fourth quarters. When I look,
I don't know why not.
He seems to want to go small more than play Malawak, and Malawak is a guy that at least alters your shot if he's not blocking it. And so there's a value to that. And so when the other teams are scoring in the paint, I'll be honest with you, I thought Malawak did a fantastic job against the Joker the other night. I thought he did a fantastic. I mean,
for what I was expecting, absolutely.
There was even a sequence in which the Joker was pinned in the paint.
I say that was the paint one, yeah.
Yeah, and he couldn't figure out how to get a shot off, but then he drew a foul.
Yeah,
that's
what he does.
Yeah, but let me tell you something, and that's just a learning situation because Malawak stuck his hand out, and you know how the Joker is smart. You bring your hand up underneath their arm and you draw the foul.
Yeah. But that's my argument. That's why he needs to play against guys like the Joker because they know how to get the fouls.
Right, and so if Williams is not back during your time frame, I have no problem with Malawak, but they just need to play him more. And Rasheer Fleming bring length and a defensive presence that that otherwise is lacking.
To me, I hate to say it like this, but this is a gimme season. Suns have outperformed
Sure
all
they have.
season
Sure
long.
they have.
Get these guys the experience. So next year they're not learning this stuff next year.
Yeah.
They've already experienced. Now they'll still be learning. Don't get me wrong, but they're not learning it for the first time. But this is what worries me about Williams with coming back with 6-7 games left. Right? You almost need that to happen because of course you got Jazz on Saturday night. Monday you have the Grizzlies. Then you got the Magic after that on the road on Tuesday. Hornets, Bulls.
Are those on the road too?
Those are on the road also. So you can get him back and get him geared up for the playoffs coming up because your last 4 games of the season, you don't want Williams coming back to play the Rockets. Now the Mavericks are out of it, but then you got the Lakers and the Thunder.
But you know the Lakers and
They'll be
Thunder,
resting.
because their seeding will already be wrapped
They'll
up.
be resting people, but just get him back with like 6-7 to go for Williams. Get him conditioning back up. Even if you monitor his minutes type of a situation.
Yeah, because
is what I would say.
this is all about Phoenix getting themselves
Keep
in
the
the
se-
best position that they can. Because here's the deal:
You're not gonna get the 6 seed.
They're locked into 7.
That's what I mean.
They're
setting up for the playoffs.
yeah, absolutely. Set yourself up your best run at the playoffs because they have 2 chances in the play-in to actually get into the playoffs. I'd rather see them as a 7 seed against the Spurs as opposed to an 8 seed against OKC.
That's a 4-game sweep.
Yeah.
Against-
Well, I'll
against-
tell you what, because they actually have played better against the Spurs.
Yeah.
Than they have against OKC for whatever reason, and then you look at this.
Which is weird because
you look at this
Spurs link.
anomaly. They're 4-0 against the Spurs are 4-0 against the Thunder.
Yeah, it's the Spurs length is what worries you, and for some reason the Suns. That's the one team with a ton of length that the Suns are like, yeah, we could play with that. Everybody else with length, the Suns can't compete. Here's the thing, though: would you rather have the Suns play the Clippers or the Blazers?
Well, at this point,
The Warriors, by the way, can sneak in there too. They're still in contention.
at this point, I'd rather see them play the Clippers.
Really?
Yeah,
Can-
because
Kawhi on one game?
Because let me tell you something. Here and you're right about that. But here's what the Suns really struggled against the Clippers. Zubac
he's not
used to
even there now.
freaking kill us.
Yeah.
So now you bring in Matherin instead of him, and Matherin, he likes to put up a lot of volume shots, and I've noticed that he's taken away some shot opportunities from Kawhi.
Yeah, I do not understand why the Clippers made that move. I'm
glad
still
they did.
baffled by it.
I'm
Well,
glad
right
they
for a
did.
Suns fan. I don't know. I think the Suns would have an easier time against the Trailblazers. Not that it'll be super easy.
Well, let me
'cause
tell
it's
you
first round
something.
of the playoffs and the
For
Clippers.
whatever reason, Klingon is starting to cause us some problems in the middle.
Yeah.
He really is. And
When Williams comes back, here's the thing about Williams that we didn't mention. When he comes back, he has a lot of minutes on him this year that he traditionally has not had.
right.
This injury is probably a blessing
Well,
for him. He's going to come back fresh.
Well, here's the deal. Here's the deal. I'm going to ask you this. I want you to be Matt Ishbia. All right?
Okay.
You have Colin Gillespie. You have Mark Williams. And you have Jordan Goodwin. All unrestricted free agents.
Goodwin's coming back.
What are you doing?
Goodwin's coming back.
You bringing
no
them all
question
back?
asked.
1 back, 2 back? What are you doing?
Gillespie and who?
Gillespie, Mark Williams, and Goodwin.
See, here's the problem also with Malawach is you didn't play him enough to see if he could be a guy that could fill into the backup role behind
But
Oso
keep in
with
mind, too, you
Williams
gave
gone.
up 2
I know.
first-round picks to get Williams.
If I was making that move, you know what I would do?
What would you do?
Trade Grayson Allen and then re-sign all 3 of them.
Dude, you would sign Grayson Allen? I mean, trade
I would
Grayson Allen?
trade Grayson.
Dude, I would trade O'Neal before I would Grayson Allen.
Well, O'Neal. Well, just part of it. O'Neal. I think O'Neal's gone after this year. I think that's a.
But he's under contract.
No, I know, but I think they're going to move him.
Okay.
I just up and down movements. I don't know.
I'm trying to get Steve to put on his son's GM hat. I want to see what he would do.
But, okay.
He says that.
To me it comes down to.
Well, prioritize them. Rank them. Who do you
Oh,
sign
it's
in order?
Goodwin's first for me.
Who?
Goodwin.
Dude, really?
Yeah, to me, what he does on the.
Dude, Colin Gillespie's one for me.
Okay, but my only problem with Gillespie is he's still too young. He's going to be. I think you need him on the team.
Yeah.
But I think you need to move Grayson Allen to keep him on the team in a positive light moving forward. But no, I mean all three of them in my eyes are guys you want on this team.
Okay, so you would re-sign all three.
All three.
Okay.
But you're going to have. But what move are you? You're not signing all three and then keeping the rest of the team intact.
Well, here's the deal.
That's why I said Grayson Allen gets moved. Royce
Here,
O'Neal's probably getting moved regardless.
here's the deal. I think.
Mark Williams would be the expendable one if I had to because of what Oso and then you got Malawatch.
I think Goodwin and Gillespie would be early bird, meaning you can sign them irrespective to the
they're so
salary
young.
cap.
Yeah,
and so and we've already seen that you being Matt Ishbia, you don't give a rat's ass about the money.
I don't care about money.
Yeah, you'll spend.
I'll spend it. Well, no, but you'll alleviate that by unloading Grayson Allen and like I said, Royce O'Neal in my eyes has gone off this team next year regardless. But my problem with Grayson Allen is just injury. He's been so
oh my gosh, he
injured
really
lately.
is. But you know what? When his
couple
3-point shot is on, the Suns are tough. They're tough to beat.
Don't get me wrong. They need Grayson Allen this year to have a run in this playoffs. They need that shooting. It's just going into another season with other priorities. Age comes into this, right? Gillespie's so much younger than Grayson Allen. Less minutes, he's playing, less body on him, and stuff to that effect. The Mark Williams thing to me is just simply, do you have enough faith in Oso and Malawatch to take over that role consistently? I don't know if you have that going into next year, to be honest with you. Is he going to command that much?
Well, I don't mind that 3-center lineup, but what I would love to see happen, given Oso's versatility, his ability to defend the perimeter, his ability I would love to see him develop a perimeter shot.
He would be better not playing that traditional center role and playing outside.
Yeah,
he would be dominant.
He puts the ball on the floor and attack. He's a better attacker or driver to make layups and things like that,
if
or
he could hit
dunks.
those key shots.
Because
those corner
his
shots.
his little push shot is limited to inside the paint.
Yeah, I mean, he's limited, but
and then he's just a bad free throw shooter. I mean, the other night they were playing Hack-a-Shack with him.
Yeah, him and Fleming can't shoot free throws to save their lives, which I do not get. No, it's what would you do for those three?
Well, I honestly would sign all three, but if I ranked them, Colin Gillespie and not Jordan Goodwin is my number one.
Goodwin to me showed his worth when he was out.
Sure.
And then he came back. You saw an instant change.
Sure,
I was surprised at how this team changed.
Let me tell you something. Remember the Suns had a guy named Josh Okogie?
Oh, yeah.
Okogie brought a lot of energy, but Okogie was just so brutal offensively.
Yeah.
Well, Goodwin, he can knock down that three a lot more consistently than Okogie ever did, and he takes it to the hole and finishes better than Okogie did. So he brings a lot of energy, a lot of defensive tenacity. I'm just shocked by what I'm seeing from Goodwin this year because he was with the Suns. He came over with the Suns in the Bradley Beal trade. And nobody
expected anything from him.
Yeah, he didn't do anything to stand out. Yeah. And so, again, now this goes back to coaching now. Did nothing that stood out. So he winds up with the Lakers. And he did surprisingly well with the Lakers. But the Lakers, it came down, I guess they'd rather have some guy named Bronny James on the roster than he
lost out because of spots, not politics.
And so the Suns picked back up Goodwin, and he was competing with a guy named Jared Butler for the last spot. And I'm watching this competition unfold, and I'm telling you, I just said, hey, flip a coin.
Yeah, they were identical.
But I was so wrong because Jared Butler was not going to play defensively the way Goodwin has, and Ott has brought. And look, I got to give Ott his credit, but look, when you have a guy like Dylan Brooks, who brings a new culture to this organization, a culture that even a guy like Colin Gillespie gets nicknamed Villain Jr.
Yes.
And so
a guy that couldn't find the court last year to save his life and didn't have that attitude and now he gets that nickname.
Yeah, and so you see Goodwin embrace that role. Goodwin said, I can play that style. And so Ott gave them the opportunity because he was stressing defense himself.
Yeah.
And so between Brooks and Ott, you have guys now that are playing defensively like you never saw before. Even Devin Booker was on the floor diving for ball. He was playing like he did.
Booker in that Olympic run, he wasn't known for his offense. He was known for his defense.
He was. But see, that brought Dylan Brooks' play brought back out of Devin Booker.
To me, Dylan Brooks is the Chris Paul. When Chris Paul got to this team, you saw the toughness, the mentality switch.
There's no question about it.
And I, like I said, I changed on Goodwin's a good player, but I changed on him when he was out injured, and then he came back. The Suns team was different with him in that lineup. And I don't think he's going to command a ton of money.
No, I think
because he's one of those fringe players.
I think of the three, you'd probably have to pay Gillespie about $15 million a year.
He's not going to take a ton either.
Yeah, he's going to take about $15 million a year on an average there, and I think Williams is going to look for something around 18 to 20.
He's the worry because he's going to want the money because the way he's played this year, he's showing teams that he can be durable. So,
right.
And everybody needs centers.
Right.
So
and I think Goodwin would be the cheapest of the three.
To me, Goodwin, and this kind of worries me a lot, Goodwin is the Grayson Allen of this year's team, meaning good enough year to get a contract extension. Can he sustain it though?
No,
afterwards?
look,
That's what you got to worry about.
The way he plays, with the tenacity that he plays, dude, you don't worry about this kid's gonna show up. No, he knows.
Well, we thought that about Grayson Allen too. And
no,
like I said, I'm not. He's Grayson Allen. I'm going to make it sound like I think he's a total disappointment. He's disappointing only because he can't stay on the court because he's injured. When he's out there, the Suns need him out there.
Hey, no question. Here's the deal. Goodwin plays one way. Yeah. That he knows that this way is going to keep him in the league.
He put a mask on because he was so physical and had to.
He knows this style of play, this way he plays, is going to keep him in his league. That's his bread
and I think
butter.
a lot of players like Gillespie and Goodwin, I think they would recognize, especially Goodwin because he's played with other teams, I think they would recognize that if I go someplace else, it ain't going to be the same as here. I might be out of the league in a year or two, so I need to stay.
Look, and here's the deal. The Suns don't want – and here's the great thing about it. The Suns will sign these guys before they even hit the open market.
I'd be shocked if they don't.
Yeah,
absolutely. For those reasons, and stuff like that. But I mean, like I said, I like Royce O'Neal. Don't get me wrong. It's just he's too up and down for me.
He is.
And I just think he can be expendable.
He's effective when he's knocking down the three. When he's not knocking down the three, I don't see much value for him.
Yeah, and so that's why I think he's gone no matter what. And then that it would be a hard choice to do, but I do think it's time for Grayson Allen to move back on again.
And player development, something that the OKC Thunder are really big on.
Mm-hmm.
I think if the Suns can get Oso and Ryan Dunn take huge steps offensively in the offseason.
I can't figure out if Dunn's himself or if Dunn's something else. Even this year, he hit that wall, and then it's almost like the team gives up on him, and then he loses his confidence, and he's got to fight it back.
You're absolutely his confidence wanes when his playing time wanes.
That's my
point.
And
let's say if he has a bad game,
it's because he has a bad game. Why his playing time wanes?
Yeah. And so I think that the Suns have to find that balance with him.
Yeah.
Because there's times when the Suns are getting killed on the board, but Dunn is one of those players that doesn't allow the ball just to come to him.
He's a defensive guy.
Him and Goodwin, they are two players who go get the ball.
But see, this is what I struggle with Dunn on is they drafted him knowing he wasn't a shooter. He's gotten better at shooting.
He has.
But to me, you go to Dunn and you say, you're our defensive stud out there.
No, but
don't even worry about do your shooting stuff, but you're not going to lose playing time because your shooting's bad if your defense is good. Right. But they don't do that. If his shooting's good, they take him out on the defensive side. Then you see that confidence wane, and he shoots more.
I would just look. You have the Thunder who wind up drafting these guys in the second round or whatever. And
free agents.
And they develop into good two-way players.
Yeah.
And so it drives me crazy that Oso, with his versatility and his athleticism, that he doesn't spend more time in the gym spot up shooting. Because what they do is that the Suns,
I don't think they want him to do that.
dude, what do you mean they don't want him to do that?
You think they're asking him to do it and he's not doing
He
it?
needs to do that to make the Suns a better team.
I don't disagree.
Look, Booker or Green, they may get double. They throw the ball into the high post where Oso has the ball.
Yeah.
Oso so many times will just have his back to the basket and just turn around and look to do another
he
dribble
does that whole
handoff.
handoff thing.
Another dribble handoff. Whereas if he turned and faced the basket,
Yeah.
and now and this is what you've seen him do now. He'll put the ball on the floor and attack and make layups or slam dunks.
I would
But-
go ahead.
But he needs to develop that jump shot.
If
Shoot
he had
shot.
if he had that jump shot, he'd be more Tim Duncan like. He wouldn't be
he
underneath
would
the hoop.
make the Suns an even better team.
Because even when they drafted Oso, I was like, that guy is going to play outside, hit the outside shot.
I thought
like
he was
Tim
going to be there
Duncan.
for. I thought he was going to
yeah.
be there for. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're playing him more center because he doesn't have the outside shot. I assume why. But if he develops that, he will have a really good career shooting from the outside. And then he's not going up against the Jokic's and
Yeah, dude. Let me
those
tell you
guys.
something. And I'm going back here. There was a guy named Amari Stoudemire who came into Phoenix. Amari
a little
Stoudemire-
guy.
Yeah, he was
little-known guy.
he was a 6'10" guy out of high school.
High school,
The first high school. And so his jump shot, his rookie year, wasn't all that. He was no more of a dunker.
His jump shots in that first year would ring off the back of the backboard or the rim so hard that it would almost kill people.
And so me and Amari developed a really good friendship, media and player there. He would come every year and tell me what he worked on in the offseason and got better. And Amari became a very prolific outside shooter. The Suns became a better team because he mushroomed his game. I'm telling you, Oso, put in that time in the offseason, son. Everything doesn't have to be like a little push shot. But no, dude, start working on the game. Get at the free throw line. Work on that free throw. Dude, you can do it. He has that type of skills, that type of athleticism and ability to do these things.
I agree.
He just has to put
Gotta
the
get
work
it.
in. I mean, you talked about Ryan Dunn.
But that's where I can't figure it out, Coop. That's where I can't figure it out. Is it the Suns keeping Dunn
No,
back?
no,
they're
no,
keeping
no,
Malowich back.
no.
They were keeping Fleming back.
Well,
or an Oso, or because they want him to concentrate on stuff.
Okay.
That's what I can't put my finger on.
Okay, here's the deal.
Yep.
I hear what you're saying in terms of playing time. You can say that they're holding back from playing time.
Yeah.
Amari developed in the offseason.
offseason. He hired the
and what he
people
told
and
me, he told me that he learned that from Magic Johnson. He was reading and things about Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson said that he worked on something every offseason differently.
He had a coach and he worked on one thing.
Amari took that from Magic. He got better in the offseason. Hey, Ryan Dunn, even when the Suns drafted him, he went to the summer league. 'Cause I'm there in the summer league in Vegas.
His shooting improved 100% in that.
It was brutal, and absolutely, it has. So if he can do that, Oso can do it.
No, I don't disagree. So it'll be fascinating to see where they go. Coop, thanks for coming in today.
Hey, enjoy it.
When you come back on Tuesday next week, now Diamondbacks would have played on Monday night against the Tigers. What's the record going to be?
They'll be 2-2.
2-2.
2-2.
That means they're sneaking the first game against 42-year-old or 41-year-old Verlander against the Tigers, and then winning one of these games. They win tonight again with Ryan Nelson.
They win with Ryan Nelson.
If they're going to win a game against the Dodgers, I agree with you. I don't have as much confidence in Rodriguez in the third game, regardless of what I saw in the WBC.
Hey, look,
against the Dodgers.
Look, the Diamondbacks and Dodgers played 13 times last year. Dodgers won 7, Diamondbacks won 6. Now, there are a couple of games.
But the Diamondbacks caught them early.
They
The
did.
Dodgers are slow starters. They caught them early, and then as the season went on, they weren't beating them then. So.
Yeah.
But I'm interested in seeing Ryan Nelson. I know I take a lot of crap, Coop, for my Ryan Nelson love. But if you can't tell me he's been the most consistent pitcher on this team, that World Series year and every year since, and they just crap all over him and put him back into the last year. Well, you're the guy that's going to go down, and then Corbin Burns get hurt, and they have to call him right back up. And it's just like, no, he's the guy that needs to stay up here.
I think he's here to stay. They know what they have in it.
Look,
now.
if they trust him enough and like him that he's playing tonight against the Dodgers, I agree.
Well, here's the deal. Do you see that he used to be that fifth that fifth pitcher
That's
or
the-
the guy that was swing.
Yeah.
He's now number 2.
Well, that's why I was asking you when Kelly comes back here after his 15-day IL stint.
Then the
who goes
worst-
down? Who gets out of the lineup? It's got to be Soroka.
It's Soroka.
Yeah, but
So-
last year, the year before,
I-
it was
Hey,
Ryan
before
every
the
time.
WBC, if you asked me that question, I would have said it's Rodriguez. But they're paying him $80 million over
He's
the
not.
4 years, so he's staying.
If he starts terrible and he's terrible for the first 2 months, you might see a DFA situation come in with him. Because you're gonna the thing to watch on this Diamondbacks team, and I get it. It's just their opinion on bullpen guys. It's just there's 1,000 of them out there, and we'll just keep finding them until they come in. We're gonna see what we saw last year with the bullpen. You start to struggle, DFA. Another guy comes up. DFA. The only guy I think that they'll stick with a long time. And I was just so disheartened last night with Torrey before the game alluding to, if it's a safe situation, Sewald's our guy. I just think they're playing with fire on this.
yeah.
I'm not saying Sewald's going to always suck. Just every time Paul Sewald struggles on the mound in a closing situation, your fan base is going to riot.
Yeah.
And it's going to
Yeah.
put extra pressure on the team, extra pressure on him. Why? It's like last year when they stuck with the third base coach for 2 months longer than they should have. It's just you're self-inflicting pain on your team, and why are you doing that? And that's the thing you got to think about going into this. Is keep in mind, just watch the bullpen and starting pitching. Stop taking guys out after 4 innings. I get it. Last night, first game of the year, I understand it. Stuff like that. But you need your starting pitchers to go 6 minimum the rest of the year, once after their first starts.
They do. They got to get them stretched out and get them going at least 6-7 innings every
They
start.
should be stretched out by now. Come on, in a month and a half. Coop, appreciate you coming in. And I got a little
All right.
extra duty this week. I offered to take Coop for lunch, and he goes, I don't go to lunch with people like you. So no lunch today. And I'm just kidding. He's got something else going on tonight.
Yeah.
I got to go figure out my car, folks. Let's figure out how I'm getting home. Maybe Coop can get me halfway.
Okay. I get you home if you're ready to go.
I got my chargers on the way, so I'll be able to plug it in here and get a charge on it. But folks, appreciate it very much. We'll be back on Monday. Have a great weekend. Arizona's playing. Diamondbacks, well, except for Sunday. Pit stops up as well. Catch that program as well. But NASCAR racing this weekend. We'll see y'all Monday morning.